Silent John incremental, another silent instrumental, the nerd rap existential. People compare me to MC Christopher a lot, but the fact is I predict it with significance. I'm the oldest geek rapper by far, save K&R, compiling kernels, open bracket, cause I rack it. And my teen nerds throw your laser pen in the air and wave it all around like you had no repercussions. Now follow instructions, Professor. Why these discussions consist of nothing but incoherent rambling and babbling, but you just still take notes cause you never know what's happening. I'll drop a little nugget, a tidbit if you will. There were 4 United States presidents named Bill.
Really?
If you run out of hit points, the game will shout.
Your life force is running out.
If you dig this, then you dug this, cause I'm all about the nerd life, word life. If you dig this, then you dug this, cause I'm all about the nerd life, word life. If you dig this, then you dug this, cause I'm all about the nerd life, word life. If you dig this, then you dug this, cause I'm all about the nerd life, word life, yeah. Let me start again, put it on like a cardigan, swinging like my name was Mad Mardigan. Which reminds me, Warwick Davis was Willow and a knee walk, Leonard Nimoy was Galvatron and Spock. That ain't typecast, I don't know what is. Talk about predestiny, nobody gets the best of me. I've only played one role my whole lifetime, the nerd lifeline, streamed through a wicked pipeline. So no one can buy mine, cause mine is original and I write rhymes to burn on a CD, play in the mini V. Soccer mom, yodel back, yodel let belittle me. I got a sidekick, I gotta stay connected. Watch out for my decom or you'll get infected. And you don't wanna be one of my bots, cause I see it all like Sauron the Cyclops. And I won't hesitate to drop your whole net block if you're acting up and you're dumber than a pet rock. I'm about this nerd life, as you can see, spreading like a virus on MP3.
On MP3. STC. Shoutouts to Vic, Agnostic One, up for fucking Silent John. Yeah. Nerd Life, Graphing Calculator, HP48G. The G is for gangster. Digital shit, yeah. You know how we do.
What's up, meatbags? It's the often imitated, never duplicated Tony TGD coming at you with another live stream. Now that was Dig Dug by YT Cracker, and this is Gabbing with Geeks. As you can see, I am flying solo this week. Carl is sitting poolside with some honeys, enjoying the nice weather, some good drinks, some good friends, so he ain't going to be here. Sidekick Max is off at his mother's house. He's also not going to be here. So it's just me and you and some fun topics. So we're going to get to it. But first, I guess I'll just tell you how my week's been. As you can hear, we have a new theme song around here, Dig Dug by Whitey Cracker. Now, last week we did have a couple of songs. We had like a little voting as to which song the chat preferred. They all preferred Dare to Be Stupid by Weird Al Yankovic. Now, funny thing is, as soon as I ended the stream, it got flagged by Sony Music Entertainment. They said that we illegally used Dare to Be Stupid, and they blocked the live stream from basically playing anywhere. No one could see it. I had to go through a half-hour process. Eventually, YouTube allowed me to clip out the offending section, and I was able to re-upload the video and then cut it up and re-upload the clips throughout the week. So needless to say, Dare to Be Stupid was not able to be our theme song. However, I did reach out to Whitey Cracker. I asked him if we could use Dig Dug as a theme song. He said, go ahead, and good luck with the live streams. So that is now the official theme song of the show. We do have permission, in case you're wondering. I know people last week were wondering if we were going to get permission or if we were just going to use them. But no, we went out and got permission. Basically, that's pretty much just working, doing what I got to do, reading up on my Amico news. I will say that we got a couple people in the chat. I see Wiley had to go to bed. I see we got Luke, Dan V, MTG Gaming. Seems to be a new face, so welcome to the show, Dan. It's going to be a little different from usual. Anyone who's popping in new, anyone who might be coming over from Pat and Ian's video, or maybe from Reset Era or something, it's going to be a little different this week because I am flying solo. So bear with me. I'm not the best doing it by myself, but hey, you get what you pay for, right? I guess we'll just go ahead and get set for the first topic. I didn't even get it set up. That's how unprepared I was for this whole thing. Oh, shit. It looks like Carl is in the house, so let me go ahead and invite him into the live stream. He's running late. I think we shouldn't invite him. I don't know. Where the... All right, Carl has been sent the link, so I guess I'll wait for him to pop in. I told him to go ahead and enjoy himself poolside, to talk to the honeys, but I guess he'd rather be here with you, with me, with us, Gabbing with Geeks. We appreciate that, Carl. Hopefully he hurries up, pops on in, puts a shirt on. You know, we don't need to be enticing any of the ladies with that sweet, sweet Carl body. Any day now, Carl. Any day you want to hop on in. I send it to you on Twitter like I always do. Yeah, he may be coming to us from poolside. We might get some Carl's bikini babes in the shot, hopefully. Maybe he's drying off with his towel. He doesn't want to show off in his thong or in his little French Speedo. So he may be a minute before he pops on in. We are going to be talking about the Amico delay today. We're going to be looking at the Let There Be Carnage trailer. We're doing a little talking about Activision Blizzard, seeing how that's going, and whatever else pops up.
Home.
There he is. What's up, Carl?
Oh, not much. Like I said, just got home. I didn't expect to get home at 8, to be honest. I thought it was going to get like at 9 or something.
So how's your week been, Carl? What you been up to this week?
Got my Thundercats DVD set. That G Fuel canister. Let's see here. Kingdoms of Amalur for the Switch. Oh, it came!
What came, Carl? What came?
My shaker cup came today.
Oh, the Angry Joe one?
Yeah, y'all see it?
Yeah, let's see. Take a look at that. Well, I'm setting up.
Give
all
me a
the other
minute.
stuff.
All right. It's the first time I've seen it as myself. Okay. Let me position everything. Okay, so here we go. All right, so here it is basically. This sucker's smaller than I thought it would be, to be honest.
That's what she said.
Yeah, well. You know, it's so yeah, it's not bad. It's a really cool design. So I guess you put this stuff in there. Yeah, let's shake it all about. So there you go, folks. The official Angry Joe shaker cup from G Fuel.
You gonna give us a review on that later? Let us know how it works, Carl.
Oh, it sounds like it's simple. The one I really want to talk about is the Thundercats DVD set.
Yeah, I heard that you had some troubles with that. What's going on with that, Carl?
So, let me get it out and you'll understand some of my complaints. But let me explain one thing before I elaborate. I've had problems with the original the original 4-part set, and with the discs. So with the last set, to be more precise. So it's not exactly unusual to me that this happens, because if you look at the disc, it really is in perfect condition. It just doesn't play the last episode on the first disc. See, let me turn the stupid camera on again. Okay, so here's the camera. Here's the box sleeve. Really cool stuff. Really nice artwork. Here's the container, which is basically a big plastic binder thing now. I'll show you what happens when I open this. Okay, so see, I don't know if you can see this, but like the inner binder that has most of the DVDs, it's detachable, which should not be happening.
Yeah, I've seen those. They break off and then they go sliding all over the place.
This one has been managed to remain secure, thankfully, but except now, gotta figure out which is which. So, give me a moment. Must be from the binder. Okay, that's the one. Okay.
Carl showing off his beautiful ceiling.
I gotta find a way which one goes here. So let me turn my camera off. Ta-da! There you go. So let's talk about this topic. So while we're at it, here it is. Found it.
Yeah, so like I said, we are going to be talking about Activision Blizzard, whether or not you can still support them. We will be talking about that new Carnage trailer. And of course,
Activision is in a mess.
That it is, and we will get to that. But first, we got to know, were there a lot of honeys at the poolside, Carl?
Just my cousin and, just my cousins.
You're not from Alabama, right?
No. It's, the only women there were my cousins or aunts, and that's about it.
Damn it, Carl. You can't even.
It was just a family pool party, to be honest. It was it was just there. That's the way we go. Oh, okay, better now how it is. Oh, there we go. Okay. Yeah, it's the sleeve, or this isn't exactly. I like the 4-part set more, just because there's less problems going on with this thing, with that one. But all right, where are you at now? Here we go. Yeah, this Activision is in a mess, but we'll start with whichever one you want to start with.
I think we'll start with the one that's on everybody's mind, the one that everybody's been talking about. First, let's go ahead and get this intro off the screen.
Okay.
Here. Let's of course go to the brand new discussion break graphic. It'll make it easier for me when I clip it later on. I know when one discussion ends and when the other one begins. So we're gonna start this one off with a classic.
Fuck you, I was right, 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 fuck you, I was right.
Yeah, that's right, folks. I was 100% correct, as always, when it comes to the Amico, because I get the inside scoop. It has been delayed once again, this time in a
Are you
secret.
sure it's not Tommy Tallarico setting you up?
I'm 100% sure, Carl. But we got the
All right.
delayed message this time in an email sent at 11 o'clock my time. Basically, the email was saying that, because of all the COVID problems, they're unable to get parts, unable to manufacture. No Amico this year. They did say they were trying. They
Be
hoped
right back.
to have the pre-orders out by the end of the year, but there was no hard date. There was no guarantee. And basically, if you're not able to get orders out for October, there's no way you're going to get orders out for Christmas or the end of the year. It's a pipe dream. It's just to keep the fish on the hook, to keep people from canceling their pre-orders while they go around, try to get new investments. They're going to use the pre-orders as a bargaining chip for investments. Like, look at all these pre-orders we got, guys. We have so many pre-orders. It's a good deal. It's a good investment. You're going to want to get in on this. And that's why they're telling people, hey, don't cancel your pre-orders. You might get it by the end of the year. Hang on. Just relax a little. Hang on a little bit. But like I said in my last video, the price of parts are way too much for what Intellivision needs to be able to pay. There's not going to be anything coming out this year. Maybe they might get a very, very small number of consoles made to send out to some select people.
All right, back.
Hey, what's up? They're going to try to make it look like they're sending consoles out, but they're not coming out this year. What do you think, Carl? Are they coming out anything this year?
Hell no. That's my response.
There's a few YouTubers that are convinced that they are going to come out this year. They're still coming out because the email said that they hope to make them come out, and I'm convinced that these people are straight delusional or just really, really want to help Tommy perpetuate this whole propaganda, because that's basically what it is at this point. It is a narrative war going on between
narrative war. That's first I've heard about that. That's weird.
Well, it is, because what it comes down to is Tommy's telling one story, and obviously the truth is something completely different. We know that. I've talked to people inside Intellivision. I've talked to people with information that is good and legit, that has been verified. So it's really odd that you would have things like statements such as, we hope that it's going to make it out by the end of the year, when you know full well that you're not going to do it. I mean, if you had parts, if you had contracts, if you had manufacturing started, you would simply say that. You would simply say, hey, we're not going to get everybody's out. We're going to get X amount out this year because that's how many parts we have. That's how much manufacturing we're scheduled to do. But they're not doing that. They're being very vague because it's all just to tempt you. It's all to keep you on the line. Just like this whole free little item.
Masonry.
Was that, Carl?
I said Freemasonry.
Yeah, there is some room for you, obsessive compulsive. Let me get the invite.
Hey, come on in, man. I just got it myself.
Carl is about to tell us why he thinks that there's going to be no Amigos for the foreseeable future.
Well, I just, it's just all the problems. It really is. It's all the problems that came about and all the crazy people and
crazy people. There's no crazy people when it comes to Amigo.
And I'm sorry, but the Crayola convention, I mean, you might as well just call it what it is. Convention for soon to be convicted child molesters.
No, Carl, no. Bad Carl.
A bunch of 40-year-old virgins attend an exhibition intended only for children. You explain that.
Well, to be fair, because we always have to be fair on this channel, it was not Crayola event. It was a event that they set up within the Crayola experience area. They rented out the party room section or whatever. And
Oh, the
they had
party
people,
room. Okay, all right. And then I retract my statement.
come
See,
on.
folks, here on Gabbing with Geeks, we are not afraid to admit we're wrong.
That's right. Carl is not afraid to admit when he's wrong.
I'm not afraid to admit I'm wrong. I'm not too proud. I have no shame, as you will have noticed if you've seen my latest few videos.
Meanwhile, I am never wrong, and you should always listen to what
Well,
I
I
say.
don't know about that, but whatever. That's just your charm.
It is. I am a very charming individual. But the oddest thing about this whole delay announcement, for me anyway, was the OEB Pete video. Now, I don't know if
Oh,
anyone's seen the video.
I haven't seen because I don't. OEB Pete is a closet asshole, as I like to call him.
Well, he might be, but here's the thing. At 11 o'clock, I got my delay announcement email. At 11:07, I noticed Pete's video was already up. Pete's video was exactly 7 minutes long. So Pete would have to have received the email, read it, recorded his video, and then upload it all within a matter of seconds in order for him to have the video there at 11:07. Now, I mean, unless Pete is able to bend space and time, I don't think that video was made after the email went out. I believe that video was made prior to the email going out. I believe that Pete was given knowledge ahead of time from Tommy Tallarico. And in fact, Pete admitted to knowing that there was going to be a gift, a prize, a something for people that pre-ordered. The little gift mentioned in the email. Pete said he knows what it is. He's seen it. So now the email goes out at 11. Pete has to talk to Tommy to get the information, make the video, get it uploaded, all within the span of seconds in order for this 7-minute video to be up at 11:07, 7 minutes after the email went out. Now, gentlemen, I don't know about you, but I think that this is impossible. What do you think? Did I kill my co-host? Are we still live?
Is my mic working?
Yeah, it is now, Gary.
Hey, what's up, guys?
You're ugly and you stink. Anyway, nice avatar.
Oh, thank you.
You get to go first.
It was pretty convenient that Pete seems to know what it is. And it's one of those things where I guess he was talking about that Tommy was going to share it, I guess, next week what they're getting. That's what we're talking about, right? The special the gift. So yeah, I think it's pretty convenient that he knows what it is, and it just seems like I hope that they come out and say exactly what it is next week. That it's not a tactic. And I left a message that it felt to me like it was a tactic to keep kind of people kind of hooked on and latched on the pre-orders. So hopefully like it said, if it's just a week, then it's not a big deal, and we'll find out what exactly it is. But it does feel like if it's coming through the email, it's probably going to be a code, or maybe like a free download of a game. Seems like probably the easiest thing to give everybody.
Yeah, I don't see it being anything physical because it is coming through email. So it's probably going to be a coupon code for 10% off of the television store, or a free game download, or probably just like a 5% off a game download. I don't think they're even giving anything away for free, to be honest.
Right, and you know what? That's not too bad. I mean, at least it's something, I guess.
What do you think, Carl? You think they're giving away MP4s of Tommy Tallarico's greatest air guitar hits?
I think they're giving away effigies of Pat, Indy, and you to burn.
That would be something.
I don't know. Just in all seriousness, could be anything. And I emphasize that.
Well, he said the email says it's clearly coming via email next week. So, like I said, it can't be anything physical. It's got to be something immaterial, something that's exists only on the internet. Unless they're going to give you instructions on how to go build your own Amico.
That'd be interesting.
They're going to do it IKEA style and send you instructions and say, here are the parts you
Yeah, I'll
need.
tell you what it could be. Though I'm really just shooting from the hip here, and I doubt it. But this is an interesting thought. What if it's like a game developer kit or something for the Amico? Something to help those people who pre-order the big editions to make their own games or something. I don't know. What do you think?
Nah. I highly doubt. I think it's just going to be like Tony said, just like a coupon, maybe like a 10%, 15% off something, or
man, it would
maybe
be
a game.
He's a Richard from California. It would have to be a 5% coupon because he thinks that he's special.
Maybe it's going to be an exclusive demo for a game. Perhaps the full version of Breakout. Hey,
could be
more Breakout demo.
That could be.
But like I said, I don't think it's going to be anything. Pete even admitted that it's not going to be something exciting for some people. It's only going to be exciting for a certain group, I guess.
He was definitely excited.
Pete might be an asshole, a closet asshole, as I like to call him. But at least he's kind of honest and to the point.
I mean, he's definitely tried to stay away for the last couple months. I think that he was, I wouldn't say hurting it, but he was going a little too in on everything Amico and had to, step away a little bit. And like I said, I think I've been saying that for the last, few weeks that, he's been a little bit more fair. And I think him stepping away from it kind of helped him a bit.
He's one of the few pro Amico people out there besides Brett Weiss who doesn't go out of his way to attack anyone.
No, see, I don't mind Brett, but Brett does, in my opinion, mislead. At least he misleads in the way he does his videos, and that's the only thing that I don't particularly care for. Like,
I'm just saying that he doesn't attack people.
No, he doesn't. He's pretty fair, I think, across the board, and he seems like a genuinely nice guy. I think there's just a few.
Well, I'm just saying he sounds like he tries to put himself in the perspective of people from the other side of the fence, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, and it's just some of the wording, I guess, that I don't particularly care for, because things like he does talk a lot about like Beauty and the Beast being like a game that he's looking forward to, and let's be honest, nothing about Beauty and the Beast has really ever been discussed, or it's probably not even nowhere near being something that they've started development on, and he likes to talk about that a lot, and that's a game that I hold near and dear to my heart, that I'd love to see, one day come on the console, but I just don't think it's anywhere near production. Now, Tommy has said, like, hey, look, we're, like a lot of games that they've talked about over, the past year or so, that it's definitely something that's on the radar that they want to do. But at least to me, I don't think they're, they've started anything close to that. There's a lot of other games that they've promised that they just need to deliver on first.
Yeah. Are you guys talking about Arthur Weiss, the world famous author?
Yes, him.
Yes.
I mean, if you go watch a lot of his videos, he does not. He's a lot like P. He doesn't go out of his way to attack people, or that I've seen, at least from watching a few of his stuff. But
no, he's definitely respectable. He's not somebody that's trying to stir up drama or start fights. He's pretty fair with it.
He's not like Retro Bro or Cyrus or anything like that.
Yeah, well, in my opinion, author Brett, author Weiss, the world famous author, is bland, boring, and he makes a lot of straw man arguments that just don't hold any water when you really look beyond the surface. Now, sure, he has that veneer of being a nice guy, but
I'm not saying he's perfect. I'm just saying he doesn't harass people or attack them or anything like that. That's all I'm saying.
Well, not openly, but he does throw in snide comments and under the radar things that you really got to be in the mood to pick up on.
I don't mind snide comments. I do them myself, so.
I'd agree with that.
I'm okay with snide comments. I am. They're on the table. They're okay. We're all human after all, and we're allowed to make some kind of snide comment.
Well, I'm actually kind of surprised you guys jumped right into it today on the Amico.
Yeah, me too. I thought he was gonna do last or middle or something, but whatever. It's cool.
Well, we jumped right into it because last week when we talked about it, we talked about the Amico at the end. Then we went to the Q&A, and that just turned into a second Amico discussion. So I figured if that was going to happen again, we'd at least have some space in between the two Amico discussions.
I was actually going to see if you guys were going to talk about some anime. We actually picked something up the other day that I don't know. I wanted to get your guys' opinions on. Have you guys seen? Have you guys seen Primal yet?
No, I haven't.
No.
Okay, so I guess that's like it's been on Adult Swim, and the oldest he's into dinosaurs, which is kind of why we picked it up, and it was absolutely fantastic. If you don't know, it's like I'm not gonna say like a caveman or like an early,
come on, dude.
About a guy and his family, and then like he hooks up with a dinosaur, and it's about their like relationship together. It was absolutely fantastic.
Oh, come on, dude. All boys are into dinosaurs.
And you said it's called what, Primal?
Yeah, Primal. And it's actually, there's no dialogue in the show whatsoever, and at least not until the very last episode, where they'll come across different characters throughout the entire show, and there's only 10 episodes for the first season, and yeah, there's not like a lot of grunting and groaning and all of that, but it's no dialogue throughout the entire thing, so there's a lot of that comes through in just the episodes themselves. It was absolutely fantastic.
I actually did want to talk about I did forget about one thing that I wanted to mention about the Thundercats series. I noticed like the Anointment trials, they kept them spread apart instead of having them one after another like they allude to, which was really weird, which is still weird to me. I don't know, but no, it's no, yeah. What about you? Any Japanimation news or whatever you got going on, Tony?
No, right now I'm actually looking up the trailer, and I'm seeing that it's from Jendi Tartakovsky.
Yeah, like Samurai Jack.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's a cartoon. Okay.
Dexter's Lab.
Those are some good ones.
Oh, it was absolutely fantastic. Like I didn't know I was gonna like it so much. It was more just we picked it up because I noticed it dinosaur related. The oldest is absolutely a fanatic over dinosaurs, and I said okay. I broke down and was like, we'll get it for him. And he had heard about it, and he was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you guys picked this up!" And I was like, "Why? Is it supposed to be really good?" Because just from the box itself, I was like, "Okay, this looks like something that I would like." And we watched it together, and it was absolutely fantastic.
Well, let's go ahead and check out the trailer then, since we're here.
Already hit it.
Absolutely brutal.
I don't know why there's no audio on this trailer that I just picked up, but is there audio in the show?
Yeah, we got some audio.
Yeah. Well, kudos to Jandy. His work is getting better.
Yes.
Man, this shit looks brutal. Apparently, I had the site muted. That's why I was getting no audio on my end.
It's all right. It's not that. Yeah, the animation is getting really better.
We are very professional here, and this is looking badass. I might have to pick this up. I do see it is available on YouTube to be purchased.
Yeah, and we picked it up, I believe, for it was like $20 at Walmart. So, but granted, that was just for the standard DVD, but absolutely fantastic. You will not be disappointed. Every episode, 10 episodes long. Aside from maybe one episode that was a little kind of like, I wouldn't say it was boring, but it was kind of, every episode was action-packed. It was brutal. There's blood flying everywhere. It was incredible. I absolutely loved this show. And I'm looking forward to hopefully a season 2. It was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with Luke here. That did look like a pretty badass show. I might have to pick it up now.
The heck?
Thank you for the recommendation, Gary. Carl, what do you think? Looks good? You gonna watch it?
It looks good. I wouldn't watch it though. I'm not a huge Gendy Tartakovsky fan.
Carl, every week you say something that makes me.
It's a good show. He's good, but it just doesn't ring my bell.
First off, Dexter's Lab is one of the greatest shows ever made.
Two Stupid Dogs was one of my favorite shows, and when they said those two guys were involved with that, I was absolutely floored.
It's funny that you mentioned Dexter's Laboratory, because I was thinking about a particular. I think my favorite episode is when Dee Dee dyes Dexter's hair blonde.
Yeah.
I think that's my favorite.
I'd have to go back and watch the series.
You had
basically, Dee Dee says that that all blondes have more fun, and to prove the point, she dyes his hair blonde, and he goes through such a personality change. So yeah, that's the second one would be when he grows a beard. And especially like when you watch, you get they show a lot of the old Hanna-Barbera characters, like the Jetsons and whatnot.
Yeah, I really liked what was that Monkey, the little like sideshow within the show. Cartoon within the cartoon, that was funny.
Yeah.
But how could you say that you're not a Gendy Tartakovsky fan?
I mean, I like the stuff. It's not on my buying list. Is all I'm saying.
You don't like him because he's Russian. That's what it is.
They actually he's Russian, but they had a making of this. And from what I understand, the art, I guess, was done by a French studio. The art and the animation. So I'm not exactly sure. I guess I'll have to watch it again because I kind of pieced it together while my stepson was watching and I was on the phone. But from everything that I seen and the names that were involved and what they had worked on previously, I had no idea. Going into it, the oldest just told me that it was like connected with Samurai Jack. So, and I wasn't the biggest Samurai Jack fan, But going into this, I didn't expect I would like it as much as I did. It was absolutely fantastic, especially with something with no dialogue, and that's hard for a lot of people. I think you either like old movies, silent movies, stuff like that. If you can kind of handle stuff like that, I think this is right up your alley. And it's just the gore and the blood and everything, kind of the characters kind of between each other, and how they meet and how they grow over the 10 episodes was just absolutely fantastic. I would recommend this to anybody who likes that sort of thing. It was fantastic.
And it has been greenlit for a second season.
Well, that's really weird considering Genndy Tartakovsky stuff. He doesn't get more than a few seasons before moving on to something else.
This is definitely a buy and put it in your collection. It's one of the best things I've seen, that really just it was riveting. 10 episodes, man. We blew through that thing and binged the entire thing in one night.
10 episodes seems kind of sparse for a $20 collection.
Yeah, and that's actually not too bad when you think about it, though, for something that just started and just came out. 6 episodes, 8 episodes usually seems to be the the spot that they go with. But 10, that's not bad. And hey, in a second season, I'm all for it. It was fantastic.
Yeah,
He was also involved in the Critic. I didn't know that.
Oh, I love the Critic.
It was an animation timer.
Oh my gosh, I love the Critic. I could sing songs about it. Oh my gosh, I watched this show with my mom when it was on. I think it was Comedy Central or something, and it's about this. Well, he's a film critic who has his own television show. And he's basically this loser, even though he's making like $100,000 a year or something.
Was the Critic done with who voiced him? Was it like a John Lovitz or something like that?
Yeah, that's it.
Was John Lovitz?
Yeah, that's it. It's actually I wouldn't tell you that you can watch the episodes for free on YouTube because that's wrong. Even though you can. I'm not saying you should, but if you want, I
remember bits and pieces from my childhood. I think it was more kind of geared towards adults at that time.
It was definitely geared towards adults.
Yeah, I might not have watched it, but I had seen bits and pieces back in the day. I remember it, clearly. So,
they kind of poke fun of celebrities, so.
All right, so I think we need to get this train back on the tracks. So we're gonna take the anime time back off. We'll jump back into the Amico talk. That is what people in the crowd want to hear. Dan V from MTG Gaming says he wants Amico talk. He wants to hear it. So,
well, I wouldn't want to disappoint.
As we were saying before, Gary took us way off track and into the weeds.
I did it for your own guys' good.
You did. I'm glad you did because that looks like a badass series. I'm gonna have to check it out.
All right, so let's get on track here. What else is on the table for the Amico stuff?
Okay, so can we actually talk about? I'm hearing a lot of different things with soft launch. So a lot of people seem to think that it is 100% guaranteed coming out. That it's been delayed, but anybody who's pre-ordered is definitely getting their system by the end of 2021. Now that's not confirmed, right? They did leave it open with a question mark, correct?
Correct. It's not confirmed. They said that they were hoping to get it out by 2021 for the pre-order numbers. But from my reliable inside source in the Amico Foundation, deep undercover, you'll never know who it is, Tommy, so stop looking. Basically, he said he heard from the C-suite that there's going to be no Amicos in 2021. Unfortunately, they just are not going to be able to get the numbers. It makes no sense to manufacture a very small number.
Close.
So you're not going to go to China and be like, hey, we only want like 20,000. Can you just, run your line for a couple of days? No, they want a full commitment, a full, manufacturing operation running. And they're not going to be able to get the parts for that. So there's going to be no soft launch, at least not in 2021. Maybe.
And I go ahead.
April of 20. Next year around April, they might have the ability to get out 100,000 units, but not this year.
And I really think this touches on what we touched on, I think last week, was the physical media being shown so early, where if they knew this was coming, why are they hyping up the physical media? Now, I do believe that they might use this physical media for another round of funding. It seems like the most logical thing to do, right? They're not finished with this. They started to show physical media. I mean, they have it wrapped up, ready to go. I do believe that they will maybe put this out early. That way they can get, they can get some of this sold and like I said, get another round of funding. What do you guys think about that?
I think personally that this whole physical media video was done so they can get some more reaction videos, so they could package it again for the investors. So they could say, look, everybody's excited. We're all ready to go. We just need a little bit more cash so we can, procure the parts, get them out there. Because it is my understanding from secret investor documents that no one is supposed to know about, that they are actually looking forward to making money off of the software and not the hardware as we have been led to believe. Because like I said in my video, if you watched it, getting the German government to basically front all the money for game development and then turning around and selling them at $10 a pop, it might not sound like a lot, but if you really think about it, they have a closed system where only games that they allow on there will be released. They're only going to release so many at a time. So basically, if you buy an Amico, you have no choice. And why not spend $10 to get another game because you are bored of the games that you have already? It's only $10, right? So you'll buy it. And if everybody does it, everybody who has an Amico, all 100,000, that's another $1 million that they just racked up. Free money.
My personal thought is I think it'll give them more time to really stylize the physical media. Even if you get like a fancier game card than your average purchase, I think it would probably be something, especially if you can continue to reuse it. And, it's got information about the game on both sides of the card. That would be kind of cool. Maybe worth purchasing, perhaps.
That would be more expensive, though, Carl. That would cost money. You'd have to get it printed out. You'd have to,
Well, I mean, they're going to print out the physical stuff anyway. And if it's like you said, just a card in a box, I mean, it's not going to cost that much more to print all that information on, on the special cards.
Well, if you know anything about printing, they basically charge you by the layer when you want to print stuff up. So the first layer would be the artwork, and then you would have another layer for the information that you're going to put on top of the artwork.
I don't know. Those are just my thoughts, honestly. I don't really have too much on the subject.
Yeah, I think Pete seems to be under the impression that there's going to be like a manual and stuff like that, when I know there's been talk about it, and I'm pretty sure Tommy had said that they were not going to do a manual and stuff like that, but at this point I'm not sure.
I'll tell you this much. The only people who really absolutely allegedly know what this physical thing actually is Retro Bro and some of his close buddies, and that's about it.
Well, I mean, they were talking about this all the way back quite a while. I mean, at the beginning of the year, about a year ago, right? They all were all let in on the secret of what physical media would be. When I think personally they had an idea, but I don't think they were really given the full scope of
I
what
don't
it was
know.
going to be. So, like that's the hard thing, is that everybody's said a little bit of a different kind of thing. So to really nail it down and what it's going to be, I don't even think they really know. I think they know a little bit, but they don't know, they don't know the full scope. So,
Well, personally, I wouldn't put it past Tommy to have shown them something that was really awesome, and then later on turn around and tell them, well, guys, that's what we wanted to do, but we just weren't able to get the money to do it. So we went this way now, but we're going to get that really awesome thing I showed you before. We're really going to do that next time.
yeah, I agree.
That's a good
I agree.
point.
Because, I
That is
mean,
a good point.
that's basically been what he's been doing this whole time. I mean, to go way, way back to the trailer with the Evil Knievel. Hey guys, wasn't that really awesome, that Evil Knievel game? And he was getting everybody on Atari Age all pumped up, never once mentioning that it was actually a mobile game. Then when it was pointed out that, hey, it was a mobile game, you used mobile game footage from the mobile game trailer in your video, he turned around and he gave a sob story to Atari Creep saying, well, those developers were my buddies, and they had this game they really believed in, and it just never took off, and it got buried under all the shovelware on mobile. And, they came to us and we said, hey, we can take this diamond in the rough and shine it up and put it on a Amico. And, I just was just doing them a favor because, they're my friends. And, it's the only mobile game. It's the only one that's going to, get on there. There's going to be no more ports, just that one. And we all know how that turned out, right? Because
Yep.
I seem to recall some Sesame Street Flash games, the exact same footage from the Sesame Street website showing up on a trailer later on after that.
I mean, do we at least give him credit now that he's finally at least delayed it? I mean, granted, we knew this was going to happen months ago. We were pretty spot on with it, and everybody's been pretty spot on with it.
I think most people who were skeptical of the Amico knew that a delay was coming.
I would give him credit. I would say, hey, good job. You announced a delay. If it was done like a month ago, 2 months ago, a midnight Friday email drop. There's no video on the channel. There's no, sorry, I'm Tommy Tellerico. I'm trying to get this system out. We just can't do it. Nothing. Not like last time.
This only went out to people who pre-ordered the system, correct?
Correct. On top of that, the Intellivision Twitter account tweeted it out, right? Tommy didn't retweet it like he always does. He always retweets everything from the official account. So it basically they tried to slip it under, get as few eyes on it as possible. And like you said, we know that Pete knew about it earlier than the rest of us. He probably told all his other guys.
Let me paint a scenario for you.
Go ahead, paint for us. You're an artist.
Not real, but anyway. So, CD Projekt Red has Cyberpunk 2077 delayed in development for many years and in development and delayed a few times. I think it's 3 or something to that effect. So what happens? They end up profiting off of Cyberpunk 2077 and say they're going to fix it. And quite recently, they've announced they're going to do mobile games. So anyone who doesn't feel that great about those kind of games knows what this means. They're never going to fix the game up again.
Yeah, I did hear a lot of people trying to compare the Cyberpunk 2077 situation to the Amico situation.
Well, the Amico's Cyberpunk was profitable, though. That's the difference. Even with all the refunds.
Well, even with that, I mean, if you take that away from it, the Amico hasn't launched yet. But the situations couldn't be further apart than because first off, Cyberpunk 2077 was announced a huge fanfare. There was tons of coverage. Everybody was talking about it. This was a highly anticipated. I know Tommy and them
True.
like to throw that word around about Amico is highly anticipated, but no, Cyberpunk 2077 was actually highly anticipated.
Oh, it was when E3 hit and Keanu Reeves came out on the stage. That was pretty big. So
Even though he was likely the reason the game ended up as crap.
No, I don't think he was. I think the reason
No,
the game.
I mean, what I mean is they ended up rebuilding the game. They scrapped what they originally had and literally rebuilt the game around him.
And I still don't think that's the reason why it failed, Carl. I think the reason why it was scrapped was because they much like Tommy, they overpromised and they underdelivered. They had promised all these huge things that their developers just couldn't do. They just weren't able to do the things they wanted to. And then when you had the transition from PS4 to the PS5, I mean, the hardware differences.
Oh, and don't forget the whole reviewer scam thing where they told people they couldn't use their own images.
Yeah, up until the night before. So it was a classic bait and switch. And it reminds me of so much of when BioShock Infinite came out. If you followed BioShock Infinite, there was a few different videos and there were a few like kind of like a concept. And granted, it was a great game, don't get me wrong. BioShock Infinite was fantastic. But what you've seen leading up to that game was not what we actually got. And it promised a much more grand experience. And like Tony said here, they, underdelivered on it. And it was just not that it was a bad game, and not that if Cyberpunk was fleshed out, it's a decent game, but it wasn't what they promised, and I think that's where they killed themselves. So,
I think one of the reasons it really hurt it was they were, instead of using an already developed engine that actually works, they were making their own from scratch while they were building the rest of the game. And in today's day and age, it really helps to already have an already well-established engine like Unreal 4, for example.
Well,
I think that's one, but what do I know?
Additionally, and this will be my last comment on Cyberpunk 2077 for now, but the government was basically pressuring them into releasing the game due to all the grants and stuff that CD Projekt Red had been given. So their hands were pretty much tied. They had to release it. They did. They ran out of time. There was no more time. And
I don't know about that.
Yeah, that's probably the only similarities we're getting here with the Amico to get it back on track is they are running out of time. Eventually, they have to release something. I mean, if not for their fans, at least for the investors to not riot. Because I'm pretty sure that making all these statements like we're on the launch pad, it's ready to go, 99% complete, we have it, it's all working. At some point, if you're an investor and you invested a decent chunk of money in, and it never gets released or it releases and it's a buggy mess.
They could end up like Activision, where and I know I'm probably getting ahead here, but I think this point belongs where the investors threaten to sue Intellivision.
Yeah, that very well could be. And, I don't know what the legal recourse for the people on the Republic is, but I know at least the private investors, they could have some issues. They could be able to basically say, hey, they promised us X, they pitched us X, we got Y, we didn't make any money, there's a problem. What do you think, Gary? You think that they're going to eventually release something, or you think it's going to fold up shop and we tried?
I'm like 50-50 on it. It's like I see something coming out. I mean, that Atari VCS dropped, right? But I do see it like just the way it's being handled. Oh, it just seems like all these people, you see these people in the videos, even in the cornhole video, and then they're smiling, they're happy, and we've always said, why doesn't anybody take Tommy to the side and say, hey, look, maybe this is not your best moment. You should get off camera. But these people, you got to remember, like they're making six figures. These people are getting paid at the end of the day. And at the end of the day, if they drop you something, there were no guarantees. If at least they ship something, and personally, I think they'll ship something. My worry has always been whether or not this system would be supported 6 months to a year after its release. And if this gets dropped next year, and I don't see it coming out early, I really don't. I see him trying to hit another October 10th, his sister's birthday. I see him hitting that date. And if it comes out in October, oh my God, that's just bad. And do I really see this carrying out until like 2023, 2024? No, I don't. And that's why I don't want to invest $250 to $300 on a system that just is not going to get supported. And bring this back to the play date, I do see support continuing, and at least even if there wasn't support by Panic on the play date, that the Open SDK would allow for people to create content, and even if you had to sideload, that's an option for you. This is why I don't believe in the Amico. I just don't. They're coming across passionate, and their big fans think that this is the best thing since sliced bread, but it doesn't look good for longevity for the Amico, at least to me.
Passion. A lot of people do a lot of nasty things in the name of passion. And that's all I'm going to say about it.
Well, I want to take us on another little tangent here, gentlemen. I want to take us to another place, another time, another video game system, something that we might be able to learn a little bit about the Amico by looking at this other console here. So I'm going to go ahead and share this screen. I want to introduce you to the Retro Engine Sigma. Have you guys heard of this little machine here?
I have not.
No.
This was a small plug-and-play retro arcade machine that would play, if you can see on the screen, Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Super Nintendo, Genesis, 32X, Atari, Vectrex. Now, they raised $631,000 on Indiegogo.
Wow.
They got 7,227 backers. It was made by a Toyota team, which you probably have no idea who the hell they are. Now, if you see, as I scroll down the screen here, from Mr. Simon Huber, 4 months ago, I never got mine, never even seen an update or email. So checking how many of these projects never have been delivered and are a scam. Now, this particular console here, this Retro Engine Sigma, was promised to have a brand new OS. It was going to have an OS custom built just for the system. However, it was discovered that it was actually an Orange Pi Lite inside, because it was going to have a custom chipset. But it was an Orange Pi Lite inside a plastic case. And the operating system was actually Retro Pi, but they bypassed the opening splash screen, so you wouldn't know that it was a Retro Pi inside there. Go ahead.
Right from the get-go, that's basically what it seems like. I mean, nothing that doesn't exist in the market, at least to me. So
now you're probably wondering, you're probably saying, Tony, what the hell does this have to do with the Amico? Why are we discussing?
I already know what it's got to do with the Amico, but I'll let you go on.
Well, give a guess, Carl. What does it have to do with the Amico?
Okay, I mean, they're promising a whole lot, and they got quite a few investors, and it could end up like that. Am I wrong?
Well, you are sadly wrong as to why I'm bringing this up.
Oh, okay.
Let me share this other screen here. Are you guys seeing? This is the Yoda team page for their Indiegogo campaign. If we scroll down here, and I'm going to highlight it, you see the people involved in this were Scott is one of the original directors of TV video game show The Electric Playground.
Oh,
Oh,
Who is this Scott individual? Do you know? Any
was
guesses
he
as to who
was
Scott is?
he part producer on Electric Playground?
He
Is
was.
that was okay?
That's Scott Barrett, the man who's doing the Bomb Squad game for the Amico. You see, he was
Okay.
involved in this.
allegedly.
Retro. No, not allegedly. He is. I've looked into it,
Oh,
Kyle.
okay.
Scott Barrett is definitely this guy because if we go back to the updates page, Scott
No,
Barrett's
no, no.
actually in
No,
there.
I meant allegedly working on Bomb Squad.
No, there's videos of him on his YouTube channel saying that he's worked on Bomb
Oh,
Squad.
okay. All right.
It
So
was
this
in
is
the
not.
Sorry.
and this is public information. It was on the official Intellivision channel where they had the little bomb squad thing. He was the guy in the little chair in the quote unquote space station, you know, showing off the little logo and everything.
That's a nice little find there, Tony.
Now, if we back up just a little bit here, you see this guy here, Cyrus and Thomas have been collaborating for 25 years and worked on many games themselves. These two individuals worked on a little game called Earthworm Jim.
Oh, okay. Now I see the connection.
And just so we're clear, this particular Thomas is not Thomas Tellerico. No, there's a different Thomas. And they worked on the computer port of Earthworm Jim, but they did work closely with the original team getting it ported. Now, this particular team was a 5-man or 6-man team, and Cyrus, Thomas, Scott Barrett, Richard, who was doing logistics, and another individual who we don't know. There was at least one individual that's connected to the Toyota team that has never been named publicly. I was not able to find any information about him. But it is kind of weird that somebody involved with a retro-inspired plug-and-play system is working directly for the Intellivision Amico team making Bomb Squad. And as far as I know, there's many angry people. There's actually a website you can go to it's like a forum where people are complaining about it, trying to get a lawsuit against the Toyota team for not actually delivering on the Indiegogo campaign.
Now, how long ago was this?
Oh, this was, let me take a look back. This campaign was in 2017.
Okay. Yeah, and it all reeks, doesn't it? It just smells foul to me. I mean, the connections and everything that I've seen, it just all points in a wrong direction that I don't like, and it has for over a year now, over a year and a half.
That's kind of why I do not fund consoles or games in development. I always buy them myself when they're launched.
There are. See, here's the problem. There are a lot of successful things. If I remember correctly, Shovel Knight was a Kickstarter project, was it not?
I believe it was.
Yeah, but I mean,
and look what they've gone on to do. I mean, they single-handedly bridged the gap between indie developers and Nintendo. And since they've done that, look at what Nintendo's become because of that.
But
it's been absolutely incredible. So I can't really.
I mean,
go ahead.
My point is, I mean, games, yeah, okay, you're right, but consoles,
hardware is a different story, right? I agree.
Are expensive.
Yeah, and it's a whole different ball game. I think with a game you can easily show concept, you can easily show your work throughout, and it's different to swallow something that you might have pitched in $50 for, and something like a Mighty Number 9. At the end of the day, Mighty Number 9 went very wrong if you followed that game, but at the end of the day, it came out. It wasn't what people were shown from the beginning, but it wasn't a terrible game, and you did get something with something like hardware. Yeah, I've never personally supported something like that, because I like you say, if it's got a great idea and guys that are really passionate behind it, and they bring it out, it'll sell well on its own. That's why I always say the product will speak for itself. Whether the whatever community that's involved, retro crowd or guys, these people will get behind it if it's a great product. And from the beginning, the Amico never showed that flair. It was just kind of like, who's this market for? Now, a lot of people are saying that about everything nowadays. They say it about the Playdate. They say it about the Steam Deck. Who is this for? And there's always a group of guys. There's always a group of guys that are going to want
Look at what
but
people usually say about the Evercade. I can get an emulator and the ROMs for free.
Right, you could obviously you could get you could go and get yourself orange pie, whatever the hell you want to get, man. There are plenty of options out there in this day and age. But if your product is unique enough and it really has
exactly
right, and that's the whole thing. I just haven't seen it from Amico. Everything has just gone the way we thought it would go, and I have an eye for these things. It may, I could be totally wrong, but with the third delay, it's just not looking good. It's and there's I think a lot of pre-orders that were being canceled within the last 24 hours or so. However long it's been since they sent that email out. I think a lot of guys now are on their final leg. It's if this thing doesn't come out early next year, they're in big trouble. They're really going to have an uphill battle. And how is Tommy going to talk his way out of this? I mean, if this thing gets obviously they haven't really given it an actual date, and that was that's something they should have done a while back. And I don't think they really should have started pushing this when they did a few years back. They should have waited. They should have pushed this stuff and come with their best foot forward, and they just haven't done it.
All right. I just want to say one more thing about this Retro Engine Sigma. Now, if you guys look it up on Google, you'll see that many websites had praised the system. They were shilling for it really hard. I believe Polygon, Tom's, one of those websites that are give sneak preview of tech. They were all up on it. They were all on board. And if you can see, I'm going to scroll down here to this is the July 16, 2017 update. It says, Dear backers, as some of you may have guessed, the following sneak peek on Facebook earlier this week. And notice that sneak peek is spelled SNEEKPEAK. Now, I'm not saying anything other than it appears that this particular individual updating this Retro Engine Sigma scam spells sneak peek the same way that Tommy Tallarico spells sneak peek. And that's all I'm saying about that.
With the double E.
Double
That
E
is, yep.
And peak instead of peak.
That is an astute observation there, sir.
But to get back to the chat, it says Luke Skywalker saying, so unless there are some drastic changes, we're going to get Pie Packer, Playdate, Evercade, Verse, Switch OLED, and the Steam Deck by the end of the year, not Amico. That is correct, Luke.
And it's looking like... Go ahead.
I know what the problem is. They should have named that system the Chernobyl Entertainment System.
And if these things drop, this is just gonna, shit all over Tommy's excuse of, well, we didn't. I do think that they're having a hard time acquiring the parts for the price that they want, and they, like you said last week, that they, Tommy's kicking himself in the ass that he didn't jump on that initial thing. If that's in fact true. These other, I've heard the excuses, and that's the thing going around all the comment sections. It's that, another delay and we got more excuses instead of just being like, you know what, we need to back off, let it do its thing, and we'll see. But you just get a group of guys that are like, no, we believe in this, and that's great and everything. But vindication is king here, because we've been right about this for a while, and it's like we've been right about all this stuff for the last year and a half. It's are we really wrong about going forward with this? And if this doesn't come out early next year, it's just really, at this point, it's not a good look. So.
Yeah, to get to the question from Vegan, he says, "Hi, people. I have a question. Are there any Amico event clips that are showing Amico LEDs in action? I just realized today I don't remember seeing them working with any game except Moon Patrol. The only time I've seen the LEDs on the console lighting up and flashing was when they had it sitting by itself in the little prepackaged August 5th event. The stuff that was not actually, the console wasn't plugged in and working, was just showed like lights flashing on it. It's kind of a mock-up.
Yeah, it's definitely not been a focus at all.
I do know from what I heard that, because of the battery issues, because they didn't want to, have the controllers dying or whatever, that they were not enabled or something like that at the Crayola event and at the Texas event.
Hey, maybe they'll get lucky. Maybe they'll put the Amico in the next iteration of the Gate.
Yeah, there's nothing innovative here with these LEDs. Nothing that I've seen anyways.
Yeah, the like I said before, the PlayStation 5 and 4 controllers, they would light up different colors depending on who you're playing, as in a particular game. Like in the Avengers game, it lights up green if you're the Hulk, it lights up blue if you're Captain America, it lights up purple if you're Hawkeye.
Changes colors for Diablo 3, I think.
Yeah, and see, it just reminds me of, I don't know if you guys remember those devices that were sold, I don't know, maybe five years ago, or maybe a little bit longer ago, where the ambient lights that you would put behind your TVs that would interact with. Yeah. So it just seems like a tech that's been kind of done before. Nothing too extravagant, nothing that's really going to redefine the way you play video games. I'm sure that Bomb Squad will probably be the biggest game to use that, but we still haven't seen anything that really is like, hey, this is why we've packed how many, what is there, like 30 LEDs, 15 on each side, something crazy like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, so it's just another question as to why did you stuff this system full of LEDs? We really need to know why that's in there, other than, hey, look, my console's on idle. It looks like my black system looks like a Tron system. I mean, that's cool and everything, but was it necessary?
And from my understanding, they used individual LEDs instead of using like a LED tube to, basically use less LEDs per light up or whatever. So for whatever reason, Tommy wanted a whole bunch of LEDs to be able to flash and give people seizures and shit. But I mean, I think that's everything we got to say about the delay for now. We'll probably talk more next week when they reveal the big gift, the big item. And I'm sure there'll be a physical media something or another to distract from this delay. You got anything else to add to this, Carl, in the last minute?
No, I think both of you made excellent points.
Well, thank you, Carl. I always know that I make excellent points.
All right. Too much ego is a bad thing.
Yeah, everyone's been telling me that lately.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying too much ego is a bad thing.
All right, so we are going to be talking about the Carnage trailer, the Venom 2 trailer, and Andrew was going to jump on in. So if he's still around, Andrew.
Is there a new trailer that just dropped recently? I haven't seen.
There is. It just dropped 5 days ago.
Ooh, okay. I must have missed it.
We're not going to talk about Activision.
Not yet.
Now, I did hear something about them changing. There was something that was being changed. They were not going to follow an actual like comic book
Hold on.
story arc, or
Hold on, gentlemen. We're waiting for the guest to show up. Now, this is the in between time. This is you gotta let me get everything set up. You can't just jump into a topic. We're not at that level yet. We don't have 3 or 4 assistants doing everything. I'm just sitting here with a broadcast computer trying to get things to work.
Yeah, we don't have assistant pleasuring each of us yet, so.
I didn't say that. I mean, I said I didn't have an assistant to help me get the tabs set up. I didn't about the other thing.
Oh, Carl.
You silly goose. All right, so we are going to be joined by Spider-Man.
What's up?
Hey.
Yeah, it's really me, Andrew Salad.
I was fooled for a second. I thought it was Spider-Man.
I was about to say Superman is better.
Ooh, that's rough.
Yeah, I thought I'd come on just for this quick topic.
All right, let me get the screen. Let me get the tab.
I think I've seen the trailer already.
I don't know how I let that one escape me.
All right, let's do this.
And of course, I will lower my mic so that there's no echo.
All I ever wanted in this world.
Lady, we should be out there snacking on bad guys. I am a predator. I need to be free.
You have got to get control of your aggression, or you will get hauled off into Area 51. You live in my body. You live by my rules.
I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me. Please let me fix it so I can play it again. You are a loser.
Eddie Brock, I want to give you my story. People love serial killers. Please, why me? What's mine is yours, and what's yours is mine. I have tasted blood before, and that is not it. All I ever wanted in this world is carnage.
We waited a long time for this.
Yeah, he's looking badass.
Yeah, he looks great.
I didn't actually watch the Venom movie, so I'm going to have to watch Venom now.
Ditto.
Oh, I thought
It does look really good.
Oh, shit.
Whoa, where you going?
That is a red one.
You need to come out right now. I will let you eat everybody.
Promise.
I promise.
Oh, yeah.
Eddie, you feel like home to me. Like family.
Oh, wow.
You could just say I'm happy for you.
That was going to be us.
Yeah, I'm happy for you.
No.
God, I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry.
Doing some serious couples counseling.
Okay, first things first, I want to ask: Are you guys feeling Woody Harrelson now? Because I absolutely loved him in Star Wars. I thought he's done a great job coming back in his career in Solo.
He was in Solo.
Oh, right. I think he looks like he could play an evil serial killer.
I definitely agree. He did great in Solo. In fact, if you go to my channel, you'll see the review I did. I mention it. Cheap plug, I know. But he looks exactly like fucking Cletus Cassidy from the comics.
Oh, really?
I mean, just look at him right there.
I remember Cleese Cassidy in the comics' hair was a little bit more shaggier.
I mean, hair is a little tough to get because you're going from real life to I could draw it whatever way I want and have fake wind that doesn't exist.
Right.
Do you think Natural Born Killers had anything to do with the casting of this part?
Actual
It
born
could've.
killers.
Oh, tell me you've seen that.
And that's
Sorry
what we're-
about that.
Carl's back. Woody Harrelson and Juliette
Lewis?
Yeah, Juliette
Oh,
Lewis.
really? Wow.
They're serial killers. They're going around the country killing people.
Fantastic movie.
It is really good. It could have had a big impact on why they cast him. I'm not feeling his voice. I think
Welcome back, Eddie Brock.
because Cletus Cassidy is supposed to be like almost a hillbilly type person. Obviously,
Well, I remember in the 90s Spider-Man cartoon, Cleese Cassidy talked like, what are you waiting for? I am yours, man.
yeah, he was a little more psychotic, more out there.
Yeah.
So I'm not feeling that part of it. But the look, he does look good. I did like the Venom symbiote and the Carnage symbiote. They look nice.
Yeah, the CGI that they're doing is looking fantastic at this point.
I wouldn't mind him being more like Hannibal Lecter. Myself.
I can't believe you
that's-
guys haven't seen Venom. Venom was great though. I personally like Venom. I thought it was
I just
really
don't watch movies all the time.
I didn't watch Venom because it looked shitty. I'm gonna be 100.
good. I thought
It
there was
just-
some good humor in there. It was solid. It wasn't the greatest movie ever, but it was solid.
It was the great.
I think
I'm
because
still
it wasn't
waiting for-
connected. Go ahead, Kyle. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'm still waiting for the day where Hobgoblin gets his due. I'm tired of seeing all these repeat Spider-Man characters. My favorite character of all time is Hobgoblin. I just want to see him in a movie at this point.
Was it the Hobgoblin movie?
Technically,
What's
no.
that?
Well, I think we might get that Ned kid from the MCU as the Hobgoblin.
Oh yeah,
God.
that's right.
Are you people? I'm gonna slap all of you for saying that. First off, I didn't see the Venom movie because it looks shitty and it's not connected to the MCU, and I thought it was
Well,
a waste of
Morbius
time.
is.
Okay, we'll get to that. But Ned Leeds was never the Hobgoblin. Ned Leeds was not the Hobgoblin in comics. He's not the Hobgoblin. He was always
here's
a
the
red
thing.
herring.
Here's the thing, Tony. I could see this universe fitting more in the Andrew Garfield universe.
The Carnage into
The Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, I can see this universe fitting more into the Andrew Spider-Man world.
You know who should totally do the Hobgoblin movie? Zack
Who?
Snyder.
Yeah, funny. Venom was a great movie.
It had its moments. It definitely hit on some humorous parts.
Wait a minute, Tony. If you hated that Venom movie, then what? Do you prefer the Topher Grace? Ooh, my spider sense is tingling.
Oh, that's awful.
No. It's more like my spider sense is tingling.
You prefer that kind of Venom? You didn't even say we.
No, the Spider-Man 3 Venom was also ridiculous.
You're saying they never got Venom right?
They haven't got him right. I didn't.
Well, here's the thing. Hold
I
on.
didn't see
Here's the
Venom,
thing.
right?
At least with this version, you have them big. You have them saying, "We are Venom."
I'll give you that. I seen the trailer. I just thought the trailer of the original Venom was poorly done. It didn't interest me. It didn't grab my attention, so I never saw it. This one,
Well, I saw it.
grabs my attention, so now I'm gonna have to go back and watch Venom because
I
this
think
movie
a lot
actually-
of people jumped in on Venom not because the trailer was great, but because Tom Hardy
that makes sense.
was great as Bane. I think that's kind of why we jumped in.
Oh, the nothing so serious as yours, Mr. White.
I mean, that was
I'm
probably
going-
his best character I think he's ever played. So
I'm going to agree with Tony on movie trailers having a huge impact on you wanting to watch a movie.
Yeah,
You
and I
know-
remember. Go ahead, Carl.
Well, and I was thinking like the 2016 the Ghostbusters chick flick.
The
I
Ghostbusters
couldn't-
2016 garbage film.
I
Awful,
could not
yes.
watch that movie because of the trailer. And there's another movie with Tom Arnold in it called The Stupids. I couldn't watch
The Stupids.
that movie because of the trailer. And I'm just saying that the trailer does have a significant part of the viewer experience.
Yeah, and the Venom trailer was really, really bad. At least the first trailer. And I remember there was a big negative reaction to it. The CGI looked very, I want to say wet and shiny as far as the symbiote went. And like I said, it wasn't connected to the MCU. It's kind of weird to have a Venom without a Spider-Man.
Just like what they did with Joker, Joaquin Phoenix.
I agree. But it worked, yeah. But in that situation, it worked, I think. And here's the difference is that Joaquin went to a place and they pulled that off. And I think that it was really dirty, really gritty. And that movie just pulled it off. And I think when you watched that trailer, though, you knew instantly, too. To Tony and Carl's credit, when you watched that trailer, you knew that you wanted to watch that movie, you were anticipating that movie.
Like the Lord of the Rings. Like the Lord of the Rings movies, he had great trailers, and you wanted to watch them.
Oh, the original Spider-Man trilogy with Tobey Maguire.
I didn't see
that
movie.
one too. I didn't either, but I wanted to watch it at some point, but I heard he wasn't actually the Joker.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Yeah, so I haven't seen the Joker movie. It didn't look interesting. I'm not a big DC guy.
Someone look for the ending of that movie so we can spoil it for Tony so he'll never have to watch it.
For Joker?
Yeah.
I mean, there's not really, I don't think there's really a big spoiler. I think it's kind of what you expect the character to kind of go through. I think the biggest part in that movie, and maybe, I don't know if if I'm correct here, I don't want to give anything up, but there's a connection between Joker and Batman that floats around. That is absolutely kind of mind-blowing when you think about it. It was probably the best part of the movie to me. That got you thinking. No, just about Joker and Batman's connection in that movie.
Batman wasn't a Joker.
There's no.
Not Batman, but Bruce Wayne. Sorry, Bruce.
Oh,
Bruce is as a kid. A kid. Yes. There's that connection there that kind of made me think, and then I had to go online to see what other people were saying about it.
All he did was come up with some magic tricks and use his mouth for a smile.
Well, they have okay, so I'll spoil it. So, and it's not nothing big, but there's this connection that whether or not him and Bruce are related, because I
hate when he said that.
Well, obviously they're not, but it's kind of a theory that they throw around in this movie.
I thought in the movie they basically disproved the theory within the movie itself that he was just told that.
I mean, it's never really like, I don't know. See, that's why I had to look online. It's never really clearly stated in the movie whether his mother is absolutely 100% insane crazy, or if she was right that she had an affair with what's his father's name? Thomas Wayne.
Thomas Wayne, yeah.
Yeah. Well, so at least that's how I.
Here's the thing, like Gary, I heard people say something like they want they're imagining this Joker, Joaquin Phoenix, go up against the Pattinson Batman coming next year.
Well, you know that Bruce Wayne does have a crazy relative, so maybe this Joker is actually not the Joker, but the crazy relative of Batman.
I don't want Batman and Joker to be related. That makes no sense.
Because they got the character Mad Anthony Wayne from the DC Comics. He is related.
I know. I just thought it was interesting. At least to me, I thought it was interesting.
I'm all for the Jack Nicholson Joker. My face on the $1 bill.
I thought that was ridiculous.
What?
Jack Nicholson Jack Nicholson is my favorite Joker. Fuck Mike
Yeah,
Matei.
down top, clap.
Heath Ledger was great, man. I don't know what to say
Oh,
about it.
Man, now
I
got these
love
scars.
Jack Nicholson as the Joker.
I mean, they're
especially
both
line where he
fantastic.
especially that line where he says, "Gotham needs an enema."
No, actually, it goes like this: "This town needs an enema."
Yeah, that's it. Thank you. Yeah, that was just. He was so. He is what I look for as the Joker.
Yeah, all zany, kooky with the squirty flowers and the joy buzzards.
He is the Joker. Really is Jack Nicholson.
You're telling me I'm the only one that loves the Cesar Romero Joker?
Oh no, I love the original Batman. The original Adam West Batman, Burt Ward, is fantastic. I had the original movie as a kid. I watched it all the time. There's nothing like that cheesy old Batman to really. I loved it. Cesar Romero was great.
I think Cesar Romero looks the most like the Joker. Like if I picture the Joker in real life, it's gonna look just like him. Jack Nicholson just looked like Jack Nicholson.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying my preference is Jack Nicholson as the Joker.
I'm disappointed in you, Carl. As far as Spider-Man goes, to bring it back around, I do see, the Andrew Garfield first, however you want to call it, since they are supposedly, quote unquote, bringing back all the Spider-Mans for the new Tom Holland movie. I could see them kind of forking off and saying, well, actually the Venom universe is in the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man universe, and that's how they connect it and get away with having a Spider-Man technically be a part of the Venom universe, but it's not the
Venom and Carnage were infinitely better than Spider-Man.
I'm kind of sad we never got to see a what was his name? The dude who was supposed to play the Rhino that was at the end of the second movie, and they were supposed to do the Sinister Six.
Oh, I know you're talking about the one from
and I always hated Paul Giamatti. I thought that was interesting, and I was kind of sad that they never followed that through. I would have loved to seen that iteration of Rhino, because I never, as a kid, it was one of my least favorite characters. And what they did with him at the end of the movie, I thought that was a great setup to that. But I was kind of disappointed that they never followed through with that. But that is what it is.
Yeah, I was pissed off by that because that was featured a lot in the trailers. The whole Paul Giamatti being the Rhino, and it was built up in interviews and stuff, and then it wasn't even a full fight.
A quick snippet at the end, and boom, that was it. And they were setting you up for maybe another sequel.
I agree with what that person said about Jack. Yeah, right there. Intelligent and crazy.
Yeah, he says Jack Nicholson is the best for me. He's intelligent and crazy. Ledger Joker is just intelligent. I don't see him as someone who would ruin his plan if he thought it would be funny.
Yeah, because usually he likes to kill people because it's funny.
I mean, here's my problem with that Joker. He's attached to a shitty movie.
The Dark Knight is a crappy movie?
I didn't like it. I was just I was largely disappointed by those movies.
That's the one people look up to the most in Batman films.
And that's where you get the most memes. That's where you get, oh my god, it's I thought Heath Ledger was fantastic in that movie, but that's just me.
Oh, I mean, it's not the Joker that I have a problem with, it's the movie. I didn't like the movie. I think they did Two-Face dirty. I just didn't like it.
Two-Face dirty in Batman Forever.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Well, don't ask me because I am a big Batman Forever fan. So
okay. Here's a bit of news. They did Two-Face dirty even back in the Val Kilmer movie because they made because they race changed Harvey Dent.
Harvey Dent, Tommy Lee Jones is not race change. Wait, you mean Billy D. Williams?
When they did the Jack Nicholson Batman movie.
It's the Michael Keaton Batman movie.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, thank you. He was black. You know, they ruined his character. It would have been.
He wasn't even Two-Face. He was still Harvey Dent.
But still, he went from Billy Dee Williams to Tommy Lee Jones.
But my point is that Harvey Dent is as integral to Two-Face as Two-Face.
And they did that with Dark Knight because they had Harvey Dent being the DA of Gotham.
I'm just saying they did that all the way in the very beginning. So it's not like, I think, it's just an example of Harvey Dent doesn't exactly get the biggest. I think he's a huge target. I mean, that's just my opinion, though.
Tommy Lee Jones did ruin Two-Face. I don't like when they have
Tommy Lee Jones makes a terrible Two-Face.
I mean, it was, but see, it was why I liked it is I thought it fit in with the Tim Burton feel. At least for me, I seen what they were going. I could when you get to like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Mr. Freeze, I thought was absolutely ridiculous, and I think,
oh my gosh,
I think what's his name, makes the worst Batman of all Batmans.
George Clooney.
Yes, absolutely. The worst Batman.
Say George Clooney.
Yeah, and I didn't like Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy. I think they could have done a little bit better there. It's one of those things where I right around the time that Forever came out, I was at that age where like Batman was kind of king, and I didn't care less.
If you want to talk about the best Tim Burton Batman movie, it's got to be Batman Returns.
Oh yeah.
Whoa. Hold on a second.
I agree with Carl here.
Hold on, let me say something. Right. With the penguin, who's an actual penguin and wants to take children from their homes and dies.
He wasn't an actual penguin. They showed him as deformed.
He had the flippers.
I mean,
he was just a penguin.
I'm just saying, if you're looking for the best Tim Burton style for a Batman movie, you're going to choose Batman Returns.
That movie was more focused on Catwoman and Penguin than Batman.
I agree here with Carl, man. I think Returns is people hate me. I think Returns is better than the original.
All right, let's get to this comment real quick, Carl. Let's get to this. F1JV says, Val Kilmer, my favorite Batman. Batman Forever was so good to me. Should have had 2 movies minimum with him. Can't believe there's only 1 movie.
I don't know about 2 movies, but Val Kilmer, I'm a huge Kilmer fan. I loved Real Genius as a kid.
Here's the thing, Gary.
Real Genius is...
Hold on a second. My top 3 Batmans are 1, Michael Keaton, number 2, Ben Affleck, and number 3, Christian Bale. Yes, I like Batfleck.
No, I totally agree with you. Keaton is the best Batman ever. I think your lineup is perfect. I don't think Kilmer was
Bruce Wayne.
I don't think Kilmer was at all in the top 3, but because I do like Kilmer, I didn't mind him. Where everybody else, they hate him as Batman. In that movie, it's goofy because you got Jim Carrey being goofy, you got Tommy Lee Jones being goofy, but it just felt like they still had that feel, kind of like Returns had, where it was
more colorful. Gotham looked more like
my favorite Riddler was all the cartoon Riddlers. Like the animated series Riddler and the Batman Riddler. Because they portray what the Riddler actually was, how he behaved. Not Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey will never be Riddler, in my opinion.
Yeah, Jim Carrey's Riddler was like a knockoff Joker. He was just trying to be
goofy, yeah.
A goofy character. The Riddler's supposed to be more intelligent, more calm, collect. He's one step ahead of you. He's like playing chess with you the whole time.
I like Batman Returns for the aesthetics, and it is the only Batman Christmas movie you will ever find.
Oh, really?
Their only good one. I mean, besides all the cartoon ones, but I'm talking about a movie.
Oh, come on. No Love for 89 Batman. That movie was the was the bomb, not the bomb.
Well, I don't know. I don't watch that many movies. I mean, I don't. So I don't know of. And I'm just saying, in those days, and I was watching Cinemassacre one day, and they did.
James Rolfe. I seen him.
Well, he was explaining why Batman Returns is actually a Christmas movie.
Well, it takes place at Christmas.
It takes place around Christmas. It's themed around Christmas. It's not like Die Hard, where it's not themed around Christmas at all. They celebrate Christmas in more than one scene. I mean, it's definitely a Christmas movie.
I think if it's got Christmas music in it and you see a Santa hat, it's technically a Christmas movie.
But anyway, I like Returns for the Burton aesthetics.
I like Batman '89 because it's got that Batman feeling with the classic music. What are you? I'm Batman.
I'm Batman.
I was a teen when I saw Batman Forever. I liked it, but even then, I was like, "Why is Batmobile light up like a Christmas tree?"
I like that version of the Batmobile. I actually have the original toy.
I want to share something. Batmobile. I want to show something, if you don't mind, Tony.
Yeah, go ahead.
Who has a roller coaster in his backyard? Batman.
I like this one more. This one looks like something Batman would drive.
Oh, it's definitely
okay.
sweet.
That looks sweet.
I'm still partial to the Adam West Batmobile myself.
Oh, really?
I like the
this one.
It's a great looking Batmobile. Yeah,
I like the Returns. I like the Returns Batmobile just because
it's the same one.
I like the.
It is. That is.
And I'm with Tony on this. The motorcycle with the sidecar. You can't beat that.
Motorcycle with sidecars. What about this?
That looks like garbage.
I think I liked it initially, but I agree with Tony on this. It's just it's something that doesn't remind me of Batman.
Or this.
None of those. I think what they did with Ben Affleck is like almost the same thing they did with Christian Bale. I think it's almost.
Hey, I like this one.
It's definitely modern, but I agree with Tony. I like the old retro Batmobile. I agree with you that
Here's the all-in-one.
I mean, like, whenever I think of the old Batmobile, it kind of says, "Oh, look, Batman's a gearhead." It's just, I don't know. If you want a serious Batmobile, you're not picking that one. That one's the car collector Batmobile.
Which one? This one?
The old 60s one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Here's some right here.
It's the old 60s. The old 60s Batman just moves as, I collect cars, haha.
I'm definitely going with Batman Forever Batmobile first, and then
I'm taking the Burtonmobile first.
And I think
I'm picking the Burtonmobile as a sweet, it's, like I said, Burton aesthetics.
Okay, here's the thing. When I think of Batman, in my head, I picture the '89 costume and its Batmobile.
I mean,
it's definitely the fan. I think it's definitely the favorite.
George Clooney's definitely an awful Batman, though.
I mean, here's a photo right next to it.
I just picture like George Clooney trying on his bat costume while getting swallowed up by a smug storm.
No, this all makes a difference. Age really has to factor into this. Age really has to factor into these decisions, because I think when you ask guys that are younger today, they'll have different answers than guys that. I'm not as old as Tony, but I'm 35, so I fall right there with Batman Forever of being like, man, I had the toys, the cassette tape. I love that movie. It's not.
Everyone
is it the best
had
movie?
At least some of the toys.
Is it the best movie? No, but there were a lot of things going for it, and I think Kilmer.
Here's the thing. When I think of Batman, I think of this right here with the car and the suit.
Without a doubt, it's 2 movies, it was the best.
I'm still waiting.
Kilmer gets dumped on. I love that movie. It's nostalgia for you. What are you gonna
still
do?
waiting for that Batman.
Here you go, dude.
All right.
I feel like that
Hold
Bat's
on.
insignia has a
Hold on.
power mode or something.
Power mode?
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, like he hits a power insignia and he becomes super strong. I don't know. It just that is so weird to me. I don't know why.
Well, to see, this is when they started doing all that, like that nipple shit and fucking making him look like showing the fucking shots where they were showing everybody's ass, and it got ridiculous. There's no doubt about it. But
all right.
This is the history of the Batsuit.
Look, that right there, that is the best Batmobile.
That's
the
classy.
animated series?
Yes.
The animated
Yeah,
series
that's
Batmobile?
classy.
It screams Batman. It's sleek.
Yep.
You can't recognize it, but you know it's the Batmobile. That is the best Batmobile.
Okay, I agree with that. I also think. Let me bring my.
Which one was that again? Which one
That
was
was the
that?
animated series.
Oh yeah, I agree.
And the animated series gave us Harley Quinn, right? I mean, I love that version of Harley Quinn.
Fun
Yeah,
Harley Quinn.
Here's the Batsuit from that cartoon too.
Yeah.
Now I think
Before
Luke Skywalker himself, Mark Hamill, needs to play the Joker in a live action movie. They need to give it to him.
I doubt he's gonna do that. He's too old now.
Yeah, I think if he could get himself in good shape, I think he's.
We did have this.
I know what they could do. I know what they could do with him.
Actually, hold on. Have you guys ever watched the WB series, The Flash? He was actually the what was it? The prankster.
Which one? The 1990s one?
The trickster.
No. The trickster. There you go. It was WB, The Flash, that came out. What was it? It's still going. The series is still going. Came out what, like 6 years or 7 years ago?
Actually, you're incorrect there, Gary. You see, he was the trickster on the original Flash series, as you can see in that picture there. And then he played the trickster again on the CW Flash. He was actually the same character.
Oh, wow. Okay. But I'm saying the one that's current right now, he was...
Yeah, this is this photo right here. That's the current one.
He was fantastic in that episode, too. I was like, what? Mark Hamill's in this?
Yeah, right here is the trickster from the original Flash.
Wow.
Now, if you
Mark
go down
Hamill's
to that
great.
one, highlight that one where he's in the suit, where he's in the purple suit.
Yeah, right here.
No.
Yeah, I mean, here's the difference between the two Flashes.
The third picture in the middle.
The third picture in the middle.
The picture.
Oh, down. Right there, that one, yeah. See, he's got the suit, he's got the purple hair. They were basically trying to make him the fucking Joker for that episode.
Yeah, and I think it was fantastic. We watched that a couple weeks ago. We got the I think we found that at Disc Replay, and we watched it. And I don't like WB shows. I think they're awful. They're cheesy. They're kind of like another form of like soap operas. But
Does that include the DC shows?
What's that?
Does that include the DC shows?
I'm not sure what you said. Say it again.
I said, does that include the DC comic shows?
DC shows on the CW?
Well, the WB back in the day had Smallville and Birds of Prey.
Oh, let's not talk about Birds of Prey, please.
Not the movie that came out last year, dude.
No, I'm talking about the series. I hated the series.
Let me see if I can find that.
Anyways, I was wondering if we could move to the next topic.
You're done with the Batman talk, Carl?
Carl's burnout on Batman.
I'm burning on Batman, Spider-Man, and the Joker.
Well, I just wanted to come in and talk about that superhero stuff.
We're going to talk about Activision Blizzard next. If you want to stay on, Andrew. If not,
Yeah, I didn't really care for that whole Blizzard controversy. Well, if there's anything else that you think will catch my interest after this, let me know. Catch you all later.
Yeah, it was great chatting with you, man.
All right, thanks for coming on, Andrew. Thanks for being here, Spider-Man. We appreciate it. We want to get to this hot topic, this one that Carl's really interested in.
Oh, yeah.
I got a lot to say, too.
And, of course, if we're going to talk about Activision Blizzard, we got to play the clip.
You need it raped! Raped! Oh, my God. Raped!
So,
Good old Rob Schneider.
Basically, they done fucked up a lot over there at Activision Blizzard. Lots of lawsuits.
Oh yeah. Talk about the employees forming a union, which I think is a terrible idea.
And lots of people stepping down, people hightailing it out of there. A lot of advertisers are pulling out.
Yeah, it's not looking good for them right now. It's
So
not
the
looking
question-
good for anybody associated.
Right. And so the question I want to propose to the three of you, whatever the hell it is, I'm seeing double. Can you still support the games that they make? You know, can you still play Overwatch, Call of Duty? Can you
Yes.
stream these games? You think that it's okay?
I mean, you know, here's the thing. I have Diablo 3 and I will play it again or whenever I feel like it. But there's no way I'm playing the Diablo 2 remake because of what they did with the World of Warcraft 3 remake.
But this is going to be all based on just developer choices, not particularly what happened within the company.
Right, but I'm saying a lot of people are saying like they won't stream these games because this will give them profits and stuff towards the company.
Right. They're trying to boycott it entirely.
So
Pretty
do you
much
think
cancel it.
Yeah, should we be boycotting Activision Blizzard? I mean, you have a lot of employees that are way down the food chain that have nothing to do with this, that are now going to suffer the consequences of the upper management being terrible people.
You mean the very same employees that are doing work for the company in hopes of getting $100,000 bonuses and stuff like that?
Here, let me answer this one for you, because this one I wrote a lengthy comment on Pat and Ian's. They talked about it. What was it, today or yesterday? I watched the video today. I had a lengthy comment. Now, let me put something to you. Have you ever watched the Cosby Show, Carl?
I have watched the Cosby Show.
Did you ever like the Cosby Show? Did you think it's an okay sitcom?
It was okay. It was all right.
You will admit that the Cosby Show did hold a special spot in a lot of people's hearts for quite a while, right?
Yeah. I mean, okay, can I explain something? I know where you're going. I mean, look, I like a lot of Bill Cosby stuff. You know, what he did or did not I
said Leonard Six is underrated film. But go on.
Okay. So anyway, what he did or didn't do, I mean, you know, it's none of my business because they already handled that in court, you know, and it's none of my concern.
Well, here's where I'm going with it. Do you think what Bill Cosby did takes away from the other actors of that show and what made that show so great? Like, what was her name? Keisha Pullman Knight? Was that little Rudy? Is that what her name was?
Keisha Knight Pullman, yeah.
There you go. Does that do you think something like that takes away from whatever the other people who didn't have anything to do with what Bill Cosby did? Do you think that those people should suffer from what his actions were? And this is my whole point with most of when you have to separate the artist.
What I was trying to say is that I think game developers make some pretty sketchy decisions when working for a corporate entity. And I'm not talking about all the harassment and all that. I just mean like gambling their future for $100,000 bonuses and stuff like that. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to read this comment. Hold on. I'm going to read this comment from an individual. I'm not going to show it. I don't want anyone to be embarrassed. But it says, welcome to life, snowflakes. Harassment sucks, but it happens everywhere. Just because a toxic culture existed doesn't mean I'm going to suddenly change my spending habits. I'm looking forward to Diablo 2. I'll be buying it when I get the chance. I'm not sure who wants donations, but if they're talking about workers, that makes no sense at all. Why would I send money to someone who was collecting a paycheck? And if they went on strike, that is their problem. The lawsuit should handle any grievances.
Listen, Carl.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's not. Keep going.
Okay, and the follow-up comment was, so everybody at Blizzard is an abuser now? Question mark, question mark, question mark.
Well, hold on, Tony. Tony, there's actually more to that initial comment.
No, that's it.
Hold on, no, there should be more.
It's not. It says edited 9 hours ago.
And there's no read more?
That was it. That was the read more. After handle it.
Oh, you didn't get my... Oh, okay. I'll have to pull it up. I'll have to pull it up and read it for you. There's actually more to it, and I actually explained the same logic with Bill Cosby. It's actually my comment, Carl.
That's a second comment.
Oh, okay, whatever.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's actually a second comment. It's not coming through as my initial comment?
No, you got a comment that goes to P.O. Posterius. So everybody at Blizzard is an abuser now. It's like Pat said, a few bad eggs, so it's not everyone. And it's also absurd to link any artist to their personal life. You're supposed to separate the two. Even Ian dragging on about not playing Diablo 3 is absurd. It's like saying I should never watch any movie Harvey Weinstein had a hand in just because he took advantage of women. As if everybody else involved in the production somehow had a hand in it as well. By the way, nobody can murder my mother. Smiley face. Bill Cosby may be a shitbag, but that doesn't make the Cosby Show any less great. MJ may have been diddling little kids, but that doesn't make Bad any less of an album.
There's no proof that he did that.
That's why he said may have. Grow the fuck up and stop canceling everything just so you can sleep at night. The past is the past, and you can't change it to make yourself feel better. Last thing I'm going to say is, how do you feel about Jew Wario being in the re-uploads of video game years? Clearly, Pat never edited out those segments, so it shows his stance on the subject. And with that, I'll retire to my throne.
I mean, it's like it's like I said.
It was a king emoji.
I mean, it's like I said. I don't care about all that stuff. I just care. I just don't like bad game developer habits in general.
Well, see, Carl,
because
you're talking about a separate subject, though. You're talking about
here's what. Okay, so I made the comment, and here's what really bothered me with Pat and Ian's take on this was that Ian was perfectly okay with saying, "I'm not going to buy D2 Resurrection, and I'm not going to." He said he wanted to go back and play D3, but because what had taken place at Blizzard, he was not going to even go back to a game that. When did D3 came out? D3 came out how long ago now? It's been out for
years ago.
It's been out for a while. So where my problem was that. Do you know anything about Juario? Do you know who that was? Anthony?
No, I don't.
What was his name? Carmichael or Anthony Carmichael or something like that?
Jonathan Carmichael, I think.
Jonathan Carmichael? Yeah. I think that might be it. I'm not exactly sure his name.
I do got an opinion about, these rumors about the employee starting a union. I do got an opinion on that.
Well, here's where I'm getting at. My problem with Pat and Ian's take was that Ian was perfectly okay with canceling Blizzard because of a few people's, and you can't say that it's everybody working for Blizzard that had this culture of treating women bad and trying to sleep with them and being assholes. My whole take was that they have, so Jew Wario, and I don't know the total full story of it. There was something with, he had taken his own life a few years back, and this was a prominent person that RetroWare TV, he made content for them, and he was very positive. Now, I don't have anything against Jew Wario other than the fact that the allegations that had come out, I guess, were true, that he was, it had something to do with children, I think, or kids or underage.
No.
Was it something along them lines?
Okay, so here's the thing. Jew Wario was cheating on his wife, right?
Okay.
And apparently the woman that he was sleeping with claims to have the mentality of a child. Okay? That was what she was saying. She was a legal adult, but she claims that she was mentally, say, 17, right? So then they were saying basically that he was taking advantage of somebody who was not in their right mind, a fan of his content, and basically he was, a scumbag.
Right.
And she was groomed. She claims to have been groomed, but like I said, she was technically, legally an adult.
Well, he got a lot of backlash after that had happened, or after it had come out that this was going on, and everybody instantly canceled him. And this was before canceling was like a thing. And to me, it seemed like Pat was okay with, especially like Tommy being in the video game years. Juwario was in the video game years, and I think it's when I break it down, like I say, it comes down to the artist and their personal life are two different things. I mean, two things can be true at one time. Bill Cosby could have been great on the Cosby Show, and he was also a dirtbag. I think both those things can be true at the same time. And I always try to separate the artist from the real person, if that makes any sense. If it comes out tomorrow that Hideo Kojima was a child molester, does that make Metal Gear Solid any less great?
But it would explain some things.
It would.
Now, let me give my take real quick.
Okay.
Let me say this. As far as separating art from the artist, I understand that, and it's something that I agree with. However, if your support of the art is financially supporting the artist, I think that's where the issue is. Like, if I watch the Cosby Show on TV, right, on syndication, Bill Cosby's not getting any money from that, as far as I know. Whereas if I support Blizzard, the CEO who is the scumbag is getting money from my support of Blizzard in the future. So I think that's where the difference lies.
Now, what about the other people who had nothing to do with that were involved with that? That's the only part. I say that, like, there are more than just this handful of bad eggs. That it was probably just, like I said, like a handful of people. You can't. I have a hard time believing that it was everybody that worked for Blizzard.
I agree. I don't think it's everybody. I think it was a small section of people, a small group of people who were the bad eggs. However, once it comes to light, those people that are choosing, like the developers that choose to stay there, knowing that the people they're working for are horrible people, it muddies the water. It makes things, it's not so easy.
And I understand that. I get that. And that's where it comes as a personal choice. Whether do you want to, because I see it a little bit more open than that. And I see a lot of the things that have happened in the last year that it's not that simple, at least for me. And it's games first. And I get what people are saying. If it's going directly, you're supporting the people who were involved with doing these shenanigans that were just obviously atrocious. I mean, nobody wants to be a part of, and nobody wants to support anything that has to hinder, women in this day and age and things of that nature. I totally understand that. And I value anybody's opinion on it. I just thought it was, I see it. It's hard. It's really a gray area. And I think Pat did a really good job because he was having a hard time with it too. I think he's seen it as like, look, not everybody is involved in this. And it's sad. It really is. It sucks that this has happened, but do you really not support something when not, because there's hundreds of people who probably have worked on D2 Resurrection. So it's like one of those things that, I mean, it's up to your own discretion of whether you want to support Blizzard now, but should everybody be, punished for a few people? And I think that's my take on it.
Okay, so this rumor that they're considering starting some kind of union, I think they have no idea how unions actually work. And I think unless they fully understand everything, it's going to bite the people who are thought to be mistreated, it's going to bite them back. Because, I mean, do either of you two work in a union or a unionized place of employment? Okay, so you know what I'm talking about then. Like, anyone could end up being like the union steward, and especially when contract negotiation comes up. And when I'm talking about like those bad decisions that game developers usually make, well, that sometimes affects unions, and unions don't always protect your job. They don't. If an employee knows how to manipulate the system, it can get you fired without you being able to do anything about it. So I hope that they are going to do some heavy research and really think about how they're going to approach this if they decide to. And with that said, I don't really personally care about what's going on because it doesn't directly affect me. I'm more practical about stuff like this. All right, I'm done.
Carl's point about the unions, there are plenty of bad unions. There are plenty of good unions, I think, though, too. It all depends on the union stewards, the people in charge of the union, the people.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it could go either way as far as whether it's a good thing or a bad thing.
It's not guaranteed.
Right. So that's just a crapshoot. You just got to have the right people in place to make it a good union.
Yep, I agree.
And to Gary's point, I think that the developers and stuff, from my understanding, unless they're getting some kind of profit sharing off of the sales from the new Diablo or from the DLC or whatever the hell they're doing, unless they're getting some kind of money from that, then I think it's okay to boycott them because they've already gotten paid. Those developers have gotten paid for their work. You're not hurting them financially by not supporting the new game.
I mean, it's definitely hard because it's not just cut and dry. It's not just so simple. I think there's a lot to it, and obviously you have to make your own decision on whether or not you want to support it. Personally, to me, I know that comment's pretty harsh. At least it's just the way I see it, is that there's more people involved, and I can't discredit what looks like a great remake because there was a toxic culture within a handful of the higher ups, and obviously those guys they're gone, or Brock or whatever his name is, he's gone. They're gonna clean house. They're gonna do what they have to do to make this right. And I mean, not everybody's at fault here. I mean, there was a lapse in judgment with a few of the higher ups. They let this go on. Was it, I tend to believe that most people are good, and that a good number of people just don't make right decisions. And I don't know if I can fault everybody at Blizzard for the decisions of a few.
Yeah, like I said, I think it all depends on how the contracts are worded, how people are getting paid, where that money's going to, how it's being divided. Are those people in power still getting anything? But at the end of the day, a lot of times these CEOs, these higher ups, executives that allow these terrible things to go on, when they leave a company, they got golden parachutes. They're getting paid anyway.
Yeah.
So, I think at the end of the day, you got to ask yourself, do you enjoy the game? Is it fun? Is it something you like? I mean, you're not playing the game, or playing the game is not going to cause anybody any pain, any harm. You're not hurting anybody. So I think it's everyone's. It's a decision that's up to yourself, really.
And really, it comes down to me, D2 is a remake. It's not like these guys have put their personal beliefs in the game. So I think at the end of the day, it reflects just kind of a remake of a game that was out a long time ago. So to me, it's not going to affect my decision making going forward. I loved World of Warcraft. Played that for years. I was actually thinking about jumping back in actually a couple months back, but just didn't. I don't really buy that many Activision Blizzard games these days. Call of Duty was something that, you know, when Modern Warfare came out back when 360, when that first hit, and that was huge. That's kind of a done and gone thing for me now. I don't play as much online team multiplayer games anymore than I used to. So it doesn't really. The only thing I see buying from them is probably D2 Resurrection, and there's a lot of games coming out. So
if I buy it, I'm buying it after I see the reviews.
Personally, I don't play a lot of MMOs anyway, so I don't think I really got that many Activision Blizzard games in my collection.
D2 isn't an MMO.
Well, he's talking about World of
Warcraft.
Oh, okay.
Come on, keep up, Carl.
Sorry, I'm just, just kind of distracted at the moment.
Kind of like Carl said, though, one way or another, it's not personally affecting me. And I know that's a shitty thing to say. I have my own laundry list of problems.
It's not shitty. I mean, you have your own problems. It's not like any one of them. Let's say you had bills, okay? You had bills, utilities. And you desperately are behind. It's not like any of those people are going to cut you a check from their bonus.
Right. And that's what I totally agree with you on that. And it's one of those things where that's kind of where my comment came in harsh, was that that's the life we live in. I mean, these things take place to people every day, and yes, it sucks. And they're kind of less, fortunate for having to deal with stuff like that. And I really do feel for them. But at the end of the day, this kind of thing goes on all the time. Does it make it right?
Yeah,
No.
I mean,
all I'm stating is that it just happens.
Yeah, these people spend their bonus money on new houses, new cars, instead of just keeping their budget up. And that's what they're known for. So, and these people would never, ever help you with anything. It's not a shitty perspective. That's reality. It's the truth. That's every time you hear, what do you hear about these people buying with their bonus? A new car or new house. They would never help people like you or me or Gary. That's just how it is.
But how do you know that, Carl? Realistically, how do you know? I mean, people have said that about me. I don't help anybody.
Because it's human nature.
What I'm saying is, how do you know they're not giving to charity? They're just not being open about it. They're just not making a big deal.
Okay, maybe some are, but I guarantee you that most of them are not. Because they don't make enough throughout the year. They rely heavily on these bonuses.
Again, that's just you making an assumption. I mean, people make assumptions about me, and we all know that that's all bullshit.
No, I mean
there's definitely
I don't make all kind of money.
I'm saying there are reports that the purchases made by these kind of people are usually like I said, new houses, new cars, stuff like that. And they put everything on the line for this big money. They're gambling. So they would never help people like,
But you don't know that, Carl. You keep saying these kind of people. You don't know these individuals personally. And again, I'm not defending anybody. I'm not here to white knight for anybody. What I'm saying is you're making assumptions. You're making very, very big generalizations about types of people.
But I'm usually, when it comes to human nature, it is my greatest.
Well, I get what Carl's trying to say is that everybody is usually out for their own. And I think I had made another comment and said something about like the apocalypse. If the apocalypse were to happen, if you watch Walking Dead, this is a good example. And you watch the characters in their fight throughout the entire series of The Walking Dead. They have to make moral choices on whether or not to help people that are not part of their family. And I think that's what Carl's kind of trying to say here. I think you are making a little bit of assumption there, but at the same time, I think there's part of what he's saying is a little bit true, where people, it's just in human nature to protect your own. It's like
I'll give you an example. I'll give you a real life example. Watch the documentary for Mount Vesuvius. I guarantee you, all the most wealthy people, the people, they didn't help they didn't help protect one person when that place was being buried by volcanic ash.
Let's see what Dreamcast guy has to say about this.
Okay.
My money went to this. This stupid T-shirt that I bought is fucking part of this. Excuse my cussing.
He seems very upset. Ripped his shirt off. He did his best Hulk Hogan. I wanted to talk about this because I've seen a lot of people making videos like this. You know, Dreamcast guy obviously put that shirt on. He knew he was wearing a Blizzard shirt. So I don't understand the whole ripping the shirt being so dramatic. You put it on. You made the conscious effort to put the shirt on. Either you were doing it because you're fine with having that shirt and owning it, or you wanted to do a dramatic, I ripped my shirt on camera. I'm so angry.
And I agree for views, for clicks, because a lot of people are talking about Dreamcast guy doing this. I heard about this.
I heard about it too. I don't. I heard about it, and I said I don't care.
And see, that's the thing. I don't know his motives. Maybe he is, and like you said, Tony, we could be making an assumption. I don't. I do watch his content. I don't watch it enough to know if that was genuine or not. I can definitely understand his anger towards it. Do I agree with him that his money purely went towards this harassment of women and the allegations that are going on? I don't personally see it that way. He does, and that's totally fine with me.
Here's why I brought it up. Here's why I brought the clip up.
Okay.
Like I said, he doesn't rip the shirt. It's not like he came out and said, "Here, guys, here's a shirt I own." Ripped it, fuck Blizzard. That would be one thing. He was wearing it for a good 30 minutes into his video. He doesn't rip it 8 minutes. He's 8 minutes into his video. So he put the shirt on. He's been wearing it presumably all day, or he put it on just for the video. Either way, he knew he was wearing the shirt. He didn't have to look down and go, "Oh, I'm wearing a Blizzard shirt. Rip it." He knew he was wearing it. So then obviously he put it on just so he could rip it in the video. Just for the clicks. Just for the, I'm so angry.
Oh, yeah.
And I agree with that. Yeah.
So, I mean, you don't have to go to these links. I mean, you can come out and make a video, say, "Hey, I don't agree with this. I have Activision Blizzard paraphernalia. I'm no longer comfortable wearing it in public. I'm going to put it in my closet. It's going to go away. And maybe one day when the studio redeems itself, I can bring it out of the closet and wear it again." And do something like that, something low-key. Not this fake outrage, this fake, I'm jumping on the bandwagon because everybody's making videos on it.
Right. I totally agree. And if like you said, it was 30 minutes into the video and he's been, or however long it was, right? 8 minutes. I mean, it's still a long time. Like you said, he knew he put this shirt on to do exactly that. He knew he was going to do it. So it comes down to whether is he being genuine? And after 8 minutes, I mean, it tends to point.
Oh, he's like not being genuine.
Right. So I agree with you, Tony. It's kind of just it was not kind of disgusting. It's disgusting if that's his the sole purpose of it. It's
like I said,
journalism, just to get an audience behind it.
Like I said, journalism is your thing, but human nature is my specialty. People like that, that's how they are. They're playing the game.
Was it pre-ripped?
A lot of
actually,
are playing that game.
I was thinking about that. He could have cut a bit of the shirt at the bottom and just torn it like that.
It's not that hard to rip a shirt.
Yeah,
it really isn't.
No, it's that's how it goes.
I totally think he's playing the game, and I think a lot of people in this last couple of weeks.
You bet your ass he's playing a game.
Well, just from that clip, I agree. Just from the clip I seen that you showed, I agree.
So, my final take on this subject is, if you enjoy Activision Blizzard games, if you're okay to sleep at night playing them, I think you should go ahead. Like Gary says, your money's not going directly to these people. You didn't know what was going on. If your money was going to them in the past, it's probably not going to them in the future. I mean, at the end of the day, when you go grocery shopping, do you know if your bag boy is a rapist on the weekend? Do you know if the cashier steals money from the till? Do you know if the parking lot attendant who brought your cart in, do you know if he's a Chester? You don't know.
Would your bag boy help you pay your electricity bill or your mortgage? No, they wouldn't.
They might.
With the manager of the store do that.
I used to be the bag boy, and I used to help people all the time, Carl.
But you're an exception, though. You're an exception. You're quite the exceptional of exceptions. But in most cases, as I've seen it, I've never seen that happen.
Carl, who has hurt you? You seem like you're someone who has had a lot of
that's a long story that I don't care to talk about, nor do I have the time to talk about.
Okay. Well, I think we're done with this Activision Blizzard.
Yeah, we don't have to. We don't have to agree, folks.
It's definitely a mess, and it's sad to see that some people had to go through this. It was definitely totally wrong for anybody to go in advance and do their cubicle crawls, and it's disgusting behavior that everybody in the workplace should be treated with respect. These are your coworkers.
I have to wonder something, and I have been. Why do these people stay and let people do that to them?
Well, see, that's the thing. I mean, they're between a rock and a hard place. I mean, this is their bread and butter. That's a nice job. I mean, working at Blizzard, that's a great, honor to. I mean, it was for them, and they're all they're wanting to do is be treated equal in the workplace.
I mean, yeah, I respect that. I respect equality. I'm just shocked, I guess.
I don't think they have a choice.
Well, here's my take on some of it, Carl. Some of it wasn't done overtly. Some of it was done like, say, me and Gary are talking about you, right? You don't know that we're talking about you, so you don't have a reason to quit. You don't know that we're making sexual comments about the women.
Oh, I know when people are talking about me.
What I'm saying is some of the things that were being done behind the scenes or in groups where the women weren't aware of it. Some of it was overt. I mean, if Gary hits on a coworker and she doesn't think nothing of it, then she doesn't know that he and they don't know that Gary's been doing it for the last 20 years and pressuring other women, so she doesn't see anything wrong with it. She's just like, oh, he just hit on me, whatever, it's no big deal. It was something that was bubbling up.
But then they go to the Bill Cosby suite.
But to be fair, the Bill Cosby suite was named that prior to Bill Cosby's trial and everything. They didn't know this wasn't like recent.
It's just a funny coincidence. That's all it is.
And if you look, and again, not defending any of the horrible people, but in this particular instance, the Bill Cosby suite was named that because the carpet in that particular suite looked like one of those Bill Cosby sweaters from the Cosby Show.
Oh yeah,
that's the whole reason for that. That was.
I didn't think. Well, no, go on.
Well, that's what they said. That, I mean, if you look at the old post, if you look at old things, That was what the whole.
Oh,
thing
okay.
And here's the thing: I think a lot of people are taking that out of context as it mean. They're propping up Bill Cosby on the bad things he did. Other than like you said, Tony, that really all it was referred to was because the carpet looked like a Bill Cosby sweater. So that's just more context to it. That I think a lot of people jump into a story and they're already heated. They're already at level 10, and they don't really realize that. Okay, look, they weren't doing this because he was a shitty person, but more so that it was just to tie in with his sweater. So,
and to add one final thought to this whole thing, many games journalists like Jason Schreier knew many details of this story prior to it going public. These people were in the know. They had suspected. They even come out and said, well, we were kind of working on stories and we kind of knew some things, and they never said anything. They kept it to themselves because Activision Blizzard was saying all the right things. They were saying all the nice progressive things that they like to hear, and they were sticking it to the quote-unquote chuds of the gaming community. So as long as they were doing that, people like Jason Schreier were more than happy to turn a blind eye to just pretend like it was just a rumor. Well, it's just a rumor, so it's not anything I should really investigate or be interested in talking about publicly.
I do have some good news I just thought about. There is a potential that people might be able to find used Activision games for cheaper now.
Well, there's always an upside to a tragedy, I guess. All right, so we're going to move on. And unless you got a topic you want to discuss, Carl,
I don't have anything.
I guess we're just going to move on to some Q&A.
Sounds good. Read them off.
Waste time. Say lot word when few word do trick.
So anything from the chat? Anybody got any questions, any comments, anything you want to discuss? Let us know now. Right now, what I want to know is, how was your week, Gary? We didn't ask you.
How was my week? Oh, my week has been dandy. I think I got the Rona. It's looking like
you got the beer plague.
Well, it started out as it was actually after Sundays when it started, right after the stream on Saturday, and it started as just kind of a drippy, leaky nose, and that kind of snowballed. I've always had problems with sinus infections, and then I got a sinus infection, so I thought it was just that. I had a lot of a pressure right above my eyes, and then that kind of snowballed.
Didn't you get the vaccine?
I did not. I'm an anti-vaxxer.
Well, see, that's why you got sick. Don't go lying. I got the Rona. See?
And it's another topic for another day, or something else.
Here. But we're here in the Q&A.
There's I'm definitely. It's hard because a lot of people don't view this as political. This is one thing where I disagree with a lot of bringing back to Pat and Ian, because they like to throw that out there every couple episodes. And in fact, I think it wasn't the last episode, but it was one of the second to last episodes where Pat was talking about how people were stupid. And personally, I have seen different data, and it's a case by case basis. Obviously, I can't change everybody's mind, but there is data that's out there that doesn't support that. If people are taking vaccines and wearing masks, they should be good. But
I happen to know someone who worked on the Moderna vaccine, and she's pretty reliable.
My whole thing is, when will it? It's whether or not you believe your government is trying to push control, and I see it that way. Others might not, but that's just me.
Are you worried they're going to chip you?
No, it's not that. It falls in line with something else, and it's just total control as I see it. I mean, this is the problem. It's like, this is why people don't talk about politics anymore, because nobody's going to
let's play to your point. Okay, So let's go decades into the past, Sherman, to to sometime after the Treaty of Versailles was signed, when an Austrian fellow with a toothbrush mustache got elected. And remember what happened with all the doctors? They gained all that authority.
Okay.
And they got to sterilize people they got the legal right to sterilize people who were considered impure or had something wrong with their genetics. So yes, there is something to say to support. I agree with that much. Me, I did it for more. I wanted to go around stores without having to wear a mask, and that's more or less it. I did it so I would have a legal right to not have to wear a mask.
Well,
go ahead, Tony.
Just so everybody knows that I am not vaccinated. I'm not anti-vax. I don't believe the government's trying to trick me. I also do not believe that I'm not scared of needles. I don't have no problem with needles. I just don't think I need it. I honestly, I know it sounds stupid. I've never gotten the flu vaccine, and I've also never gotten the flu.
Oh, and that's part of it too. I'm not like a total anti-vaxxer, but if I had a little bit more empirical data that showed me that, and you didn't have Anthony Fauci going back and forth, I think I'd be more on the train. But like you said, Tony, I've never really gotten the flu vaccine. I've never really. I've always been my immunity's always been pretty good, and I've always been a pretty healthy guy.
Until now.
Until now. I mean, I don't. Is it for sure that I haven't gotten tested that I actually do have it? So, is it COVID? Is it not? I don't know at this point. I haven't had a few of the symptoms, and because I have gotten sinus infections throughout my entire life. I mean, the last 2 times that I got sick, which was about 1.5 years, 2 years ago, was sinus infection. So
I'm just concerned for you for the side effects that thing has.
Well, and then again, it all boils down on it's my decision. I think that I view it as everybody should be. Right.
Well, I mean, you already got it.
And I don't believe in masks either. But I do wear them out. I do wear them out. Not in every situation.
I mean, you
but
have
I'm outside.
to wear them at like the hospital.
Right. Certain areas, like I play ball when I have to play ball. Let's just put it that way. And obviously, there's a lot of people.
Luke Skywalker says people didn't have the data years ago with prior vaccines either. But it wasn't a concern then. People's fears and hesitations with this vaccine come from social media and misinformation. Tommy, is that you? I heard misinformation.
My brother is I just got a kidney this year, and that's one of the reasons I got vaccinated.
Well, let me just say this. Again, I do believe that the coronavirus, COVID-19, whatever you want to call it, however you want to refer to it, I believe it's real. It's 100%. It is real. It is a thing.
Oh, I agree.
I do not like getting vaccines. I just don't get them. I got a flu vaccine one time because my job required it, and I got the flu. So I don't want to roll the dice on getting a COVID vaccine and then end up getting COVID because of it. I've been lucky so far. I will keep playing, pushing my luck because that's what I do. Now, as far as, getting sick, I will say this. About 10 years ago, I went in for a physical for a job. They made me get a full physical. And since the job was paying for it, the doctors decided to hook me up to an EKG. So they took me up to this EKG machine and they got the results and they said, this is odd. So the doctor called in another doctor and he looked at it and he said, this is odd. And they got a third doctor and he looked at it. And all 3 doctors came back with the same thing. They said, hey, there's some abnormality here on your EKG, Mr. Tony. We have no idea what it is. We highly recommend you go to a specialist. I said to them, well, am I still physically fit to get the job that I'm applying to? They said, yeah, you've passed all the other tests. We just have no idea what's wrong with your EKG. You might have some kind of heart problem, some heart condition. So I said, okay. I've never went to a doctor for it. I've never seen a doctor for it. I've never gotten checked out. I can drop dead in the middle of this stream right now because my heart exploded. But I'm not really worried about it. And that's how I feel about COVID. I can get it at any moment, but I'm really not concerned. It does not register as a concern for me. It just doesn't.
Gary isn't any ordinary YouTuber. He's Rona Man.
And I think I'm at an age too. I think that even with it, if this is it, that I'll come through. I think in a couple weeks you'll probably hear me on a Saturday, and I'll be joining you guys. I'm not afraid of it. I understand the one side of it, and that's where I see certain ways that I think it was CNN that they just released a video. They interviewed a man from it was Arkansas with his daughter, and just the way that it's being worded and the way that I do think that people are pushing people into, at least how I see it, like almost like a fear campaign. You have a little girl that said, oh well, you can send your child to school, but she said something along the lines of like, all I can envision is if my brother were there and he caught COVID and then 2 days later he died, it's not on you. And you don't, I see that side of it, and I see the way the media is pushing it that way. It just rubs me the wrong way. It rubs me the wrong way like Tommy rubs me the wrong way with the Amico. And at least that's my intuition. That's my gut feeling about it. And I can't tell anybody to make their decisions. At least the way I see it is, I was put on this earth and air is free to breathe. And, from the day I was born, people haven't been masking with the flu. And it just strikes me odd that now that people want to mask and take this seriously, when I think personally to me that it was no more deadlier than the flu. So
for now,
at least that's how I see it. That's how I see it. And you have to believe what you're being told too. So
I am working on a proposal. I'm working on a proposal to tax breathing.
Well, I'm good then, because everyone says I can't breathe right anyway.
I'm figuring like 4 cents a second, or something like that.
I would just hold my breath until I passed out.
But I'm definitely a very stubborn individual. I probably don't align with a lot of people's views. I've voted for somebody that guys might not like, but
you voted for Donald Trump.
Yes,
we're the 3 Trumpies, folks.
Whoa! We're not the 3 Trump. What are you talking about, Carl?
You didn't vote. You said you like Donald Trump. You didn't vote for him.
I just don't vote.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's fair, I guess. Oh, we're the 2 Trumpies then.
You got to understand where I'm from, Carl. This is a very blue area, and it's basically, it would be a waste of my time to go out and vote for a Republican anything.
No, I'm just, you said you like the guy, so I thought you voted for him. It's not that big of a deal. If you didn't vote, you didn't vote. I'm not gonna hold you accountable or anything like that. We're the 2 Trumpies, folks. Yeah, I voted for the guy too, even though, he is who he is.
2 times in a row. I voted for him 2 times in a row. I thought it was awesome.
I voted for the hometown boy. I voted for Kanye West.
I voted. I want to send a letter to Donald Trump one day to have Tommy Tallarico as his running mate because they are similar.
No.
Not even Kim Kardashian voted for Kanye West.
Kanye West, I mean, what can you say about Kanye West? It hasn't been said already about him.
I mean, it is what it is. I guess we're gonna see come midterms and then come 2024 what happens. I've lost faith in our process. So
his only regret is that he can't watch himself perform live. I mean, whatever.
The country's definitely in a weird position, and at the end of the day, I just live and let live, and give me my video games.
So, would you, if voting for Donald Trump got you an Intellivision Amico, would you do it?
Well, of course, I'm going to vote for him anyways. I guess I'm getting that Amico for free. He was my go. I won't shy away from it. He was my go-to. He was my go-to.
I voted for him twice.
I looked at it this way. I seen a guy that what I thought was not affiliated with Washington, and a guy that was not a politician, and I wanted to mix things up, and that's why I voted for him. I watched a lot of news. Okay, I work from home. I watched a lot of news during the last 2 years, and I watched what a lot of people see. And this is what I think: a lot of people work. A lot of people don't have time to actually sit and sift through information and persecute for all these things. I think if you really dug deep, there were telltale signs, and at least that's my personal opinion.
I analyzed Tommy Tallarico once, and but from my impression, the guy has a charisma akin to Bill Clinton. And Bill Clinton could make you believe that he is invisible.
Yeah, they didn't call him Slick Willie for nothing.
I mean, that's...
We gotta address this comment in the chat. Luke Skywalker says you gotta watch Suicide Squad. I have not watched it.
My brother just texted me. He said he just seen it.
Did he?
I will not watch Suicide Squad on a plane, on a train. I will not watch it here. I will not watch it anywhere.
I'm kind of fed up with the whole, I don't even understand it because I haven't been paying attention to it. Is it just a reboot? Is it a sequel? What the hell is it?
I think it's a reboot.
And that's what was so weird. It's a reboot, yet we still have what's her name playing Harley Quinn. It's just so weird to me.
Well, because they got whole DC extended universe, multiverse, headache bullshit.
Birds of Prey we watched Birds of Prey, and there were some moments I liked in that movie, but to me, it's just, I am done with I'm done with the whole cast. I just don't want nothing to do with it. But I hear from, at least my brother said it was good. So.
All right. And Luke says it's a sequel and a reboot. So somehow it's both.
It's a requel. It's a requel.
There you go.
Patent pending. That's Carl's word. TM. Requel.
I've made lots of words, so,
All right. Lord Raycon wants to know.
2022.
Did y'all bet yet summer of 2022 or fall of 2022?
Is this Amico we're talking about?
I assume it is the Amico. He wants to know, when is it coming out, gentlemen?
Fall.
Oh.
October 10th, 2022. I called
No. Yeah, you're wrong. So? And I'm going to tell you, you're wrong. Why? It's going to come out in July 2025.
Wow.
Cool as to see it.
Hold on. Have we talked about the latest Amico Zero video?
No. Was there another video? I haven't seen.
There was, and he's convincing me once again that this thing is real deal.
I don't think it's real. I mean,
we're gonna have to go watch it.
I mean, might as well, I guess. I don't care that much about it. I don't have the HDMI. I am out of HDMI ports on my television, so.
But the Intellivision Zero, it's
don't care. Quote
there's
unquote.
A whole bunch of Intellivision channels that just pop up to troll each other for some reason.
Oh my God! There's been slew of content that I just haven't even been able to deal with right now. I just haven't had the time to watch it.
Well,
Just
I see
think,
some
folks.
channel called Amico Gamer Dude. There's a Trolling Ain't Easy.
Oh, I watched that one. That was the singing one, I think, right?
Yeah.
Just think, folks, we're going to get in a Ninja Kitty video soon.
Ooh, Gen X Gamer has just released a video. Old man cries about it. Amico
He's
delay.
getting better with his content.
I do love his video game cops.
Yes.
I just don't have time in my day to sift through Amico information. I have better things to do in my life.
I'll tell you what, there's one thing that really is hilarious to me, and it's Relic Gamer going after like Darius. Like the guys here, and here's my thing is that these guys are taking they're taking the extremists on one side who are just shitting all over it, and they could care less. They're basically like guys like Darius are trolling, and guys like Relic are falling right into it. But when I comment on anything on Relic's video, he doesn't have an answer for guys like us who have been pretty critical but fair. But he only wants to converse with the guys who are, you're not going to change you could possibly change my mind, but we can't have a dialogue. But you're willing to have a dialogue with someone like Darius, who's obviously gunning at you every day on purpose, and you're just falling into his trap.
It is said that Relic Gamer is also Jonathan Gatto.
Yeah.
I can't prove that, but you know, I don't care that much about Relic. I mean, you know, I said it before and I'll say it again. He looks like a character from an 80s cartoon or World of Warcraft.
Well, the only thing I think he has a bigger relationship with Tommy than he leads on, like him going to the video games live, getting the guitar pick from Tommy. I think these are things that these are not normal. I understand you're excited for a console, but you do have to understand that people look at this and say, well, geez, you're at video games live and you know, you're getting Tommy's tossing you a guitar pick and you're fanboying over him on your videos. And it's like, how can I take someone like you seriously when you're trying to tell me, oh, I played the Amico and it's great, it's fantastic, and you shouldn't believe any of what, you know, these people who are haters who are being critical but fair. It's just not right. You shouldn't. I mean, you should at least disclose that. It's like Smash JT. You should disclose the fact that you invested $10,000. That's
I got
part
some
of
breaking news, gentlemen. Breaking news straight from the Amico inside source. He just hit me up. I'm just checking my messages. Apparently, if you pre-ordered from GameStop, you are eligible for that gift that they're giving out. It's not just for direct pre-orders. So if you pre-ordered anywhere for the Amico, you will be eligible for the gift.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's not bad. I thought it was just going to be on the Founders Edition, but that's nice. You know, that's nice. They're willing to at least help anybody and give that gift to whoever pre-ordered. So that's cool. I'll give you credit there. But we'll see. It remains to be seen what that gift is.
Yeah, and that actually worries me more, knowing that they're giving it to everybody, because I have a feeling it's going to be just early access to something. It's going to be, well, here you go. You got early access to this demo or something that people are going to be able to give to other people or share with non-pre-order people.
Yeah, I didn't say it was going to be great, but
here's what
I'll tell you what it is.
What is it, Carl?
Tommy Tallarico, I bet, is launching a new brand of condoms called Easy Break Condoms.
Carl.
I mean, you know, it's the, tell me it's crazier than giving everyone a 5 or 10% discount.
Here's what I think. Someone has suggested this in one of the comments. I forget where I read it. Well, this was a suggestion that I read in a comment section. Don't take it as me saying this is the thing that's happening. But and I hope this is what happens. Someone suggested that they're going to take all the pre-order names and put them into the credits of one of the games. So you'll be like a special thank you to all our pre-order people, and then list your names.
That's interesting.
And I really would love to have Tony TGD have his name in the Amico credits. I think that would be sweet, because
The
then I would
icing
have
on the cake.
Yeah, I would have the shell and my name in the credits, so that way me signing it actually would make a little bit more sense. People like, oh, his name's in the credits and he signed this thing. So I hope that's what they do.
That way, anytime Mike Mullis plugs in his Amico, he has to see Tony. That's pretty funny.
So if you haven't been over to the Hammock Man channel, probably go check that out. That's the Dazed Gamer. Sorry.
Yeah, I was hoping he'd join us tonight.
Yeah, I mean, if Hammock Man ever wants to get on, we'd love to have him as part of the
You betcha.
Luke says he thinks it's going to be a 7th game at launch.
That's interesting.
I don't know if they even have 3 games ready.
Well, I said it's going to be launched in 2025, so
launched out of a window.
Khajiit wants to know, he says, by the way, do you think Amico fans are getting burned out? I mean, for months I've been checking for new Amico videos daily. Lately, the amount of their videos dropped drastically, or are they just on vacation?
I mean, this is about normal from them for them. I mean, the problem is what do you show at this point? There's nothing to show.
I think Relic is getting bored of doing videos about Tony.
This is why Pete has put the brakes, pushed on the brakes a bit, because he knew he was, for a while there, he was going kind of hard. I actually had to check like about a month back to see how much Pete actually did. If I was going a little too because he was, like I've said, week in and week out, that he has this personality and he really believes in this. So I had to really go and do my research. How much did he actually cover it? And to be honest, it wasn't as much as I thought it was. But he has since put the brakes on the Amico a bit.
Well, here's the thing about Pete. For OEB Pete's videos, he always tags them with Intellivision Amico, the playlist. So even when his video is not about the Amico, it still comes up in search results for the Amico.
Right.
So I think that was probably why people were thinking that he was talking about it so much.
But I do think since then he's kind of had to because he was kind of like the creator of the all access, right? And then it kind of shifted to the After Dark.
Well, no, that's 2 different shows, because All Access is Pete's on Sunday and After Dark's.
But is he still doing the All Access?
He is. I think they took a 2-week break or something, because he was.
Okay. That's probably what I noticed then. That makes sense.
But I did notice there are several people. I mean, if you go back a year, you'll see that some of those people that were making videos either are no longer making videos at all, or they just stopped making Amico videos. I mean, you had people like Super Jeremy World, Blues Tech.
Who was the one dude that... There was another dude. Was it like Irish something another?
Irish?
I can't remember his name. I don't know if maybe he has like an accent. I'm not sure where he's from, but there was a guy that just recently done a video that he hasn't done a video in like a year or about a year and a half.
Brett Weiss hasn't really done many Amico videos lately, if any at all.
No, he's done a few here and there, because he seems to be the first guy that I usually go to and kind of jab at a little bit, because I think it's just the way Brett comes across is that he's not being totally. I don't know if he's excited for it, and I understand the excitement with these guys. They're, this is stuff that they grew up on. They hold it near and dear to their heart, and I do too. But I mean, I see the thing for what it is, and I'm just trying to be real about it instead of holding out my hopes that, hey, because it's the same shtick from a lot of these guys. It's like, hey, just wait until you get it in your hands, play it. And for me, it's I see it, but not that it's not for me. I want it to be for me, but it's just I see all the bad stuff associated.
In the case of Brett Weiss, he said something once that kind of made perfect sense to me, because when it comes to church, both of us have a vaguely similar experience. Like he had lock-ins when he was a kid, and I had them in my churches that I went to, and a lot of those events were pretty fun. So I understand that's how he was exposed to the Intellivision. So I get that, and I get that why he likes it, but, yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Brett will make like 3 or 4 videos of Amico in a row, and then he'll just stop and cover something else. So I think that's why, certain people you get the perception of all he's doing is Amico videos, because you see like 3 or 4 in a row, and he does a lot of those. I'm going to read the angry comments from my comment section and why they're wrong. He just makes really shitty content, and he's always straw manning. His arguments are ridiculous.
It doesn't help that he tends to push his books a lot. That doesn't, to me personally, it doesn't sit well with me.
That's true. I understand your point in that one. I mean, it's like, dude, do you need if your books are that good, you don't need to push them all the time.
Yeah, I mean, the Amico Kid apparently has deleted his Amico Kid channel is gone, and he's now re-uploaded all his Amico videos back.
Yes, Snestastic Pete.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
I noticed that. I also made another comment about because I feel like when they do this, they re-upload that, and they knew this wave of hate was coming, that they tend to try to balance it out.
Yeah.
At least that's how I feel.
Who has 300? Mike Martinez says somebody has 300 Amico videos.
Oh wow, that's a lot.
Wow. What loser has 300 Amico videos?
Let me check if it's me. Hold on.
Ooh, that's a lot. Oh, by the way, Carl, I just wanted to say that nice little character you see might possibly could be on the play date one of these days. That's what I'm working towards right now. So
okay, sounds cool.
So what? You're designing your own game, Gary?
Oh, it's been in the works for over 5 years. Not that it's been serious work. Obviously, I don't program. I've actually looked at options of maybe getting someone to help join me. I do art, animation. I could do sound design and composing some music here and there. Obviously, I've never created a game. It's always been my dream to do that for the longest time.
Are you going to is it a game where you get to bury Tommy Tallarico alive?
No. I could surely put a resemblance of that character, but would it only be parody?
All right.
But the character would resembles one of my favorite series of all time is Mega Man. So this is
okay.
What I'm trying to do, and I have been trying to do for it seems like a long time. I have a lot of art that actually what I wanted to do. I don't know if you guys have heard of a thing called Nestmaker. It was a way to use, and I can't remember the guy that created it. It was a program created to do a top down like a Zelda kind of game, and you could take this and very lightly kind of plug in whatever you wanted without having to know code. But it really didn't really kind of work out. So and I lost a lot of work that I had done on my PC. My PC got screwed and fucked up, and I lost a lot of that work. But I do have, a lot of that work had been done on other things, and I like to do a lot of my art on my DS, my 3DS. Those have like Flipnote Studio, so it makes it easier for me to get in, do some pixel art, animate it really quick. Obviously, I don't. That's the biggest thing. I'm not a technical guy. I've never been a big programmer or anything of that. I'm trying to find a way to learn C and do all that so that I can make this a reality. It's always been a dream of mine to make a game. So that's what I've been working towards. At least I have a lot of art, a lot of animation, a lot of ideas out there, but I definitely need to either learn programming or find somebody. But it's something I'm working towards. It's a goal.
If you want to learn programming, I would recommend computer science courses.
Yep. That's I took one of those in early college a long time ago, but that didn't quite work out. So I have to find a way. I will find a way.
Whatever.
Speaking of creating things, I am going to convince Sidekick Max to draw some art for a comic book. So look forward to a Tony TGD production. I already have several ideas in the works. No, there will not be a Tommy Tallarico parody character, Carl.
I was just thinking, if people are already comparing me and you, me and you to Lethal Weapon, me being Mel Gibson, you being Danny Glover, I can only imagine what the.
Does that make me Joe Pesci?
Hey, Gary is our Joe
Pesci. No, you're Chris Rock.
Oh, what do they call him? Butters?
Yeah, you're Chris Rock.
I don't know if I want to be Danny Glover.
You don't like Danny Glover? I thought he was okay.
I am too old for this shit, but.
People say I'm zany or whatever, and I'm like Mel Gibson in that movie.
Yeah, and to get to the comments, I agree with this comment here. Crap on the console if you want, but leave people's personal lives out of things.
Yeah,
I mean,
totally agree.
Oh yeah, I agree.
We can't all be as immune to criticism as myself,
or me,
or Carl. We can't all be the often imitated, never duplicated, lip smacking, cash stacking Tony TGD. So come on.
In fact, whenever I see comments made about me, I say, "Is that the best you got?"
That's something you would have heard on WWF back in the day with a Mean Gene Okerlund interview.
Oh hell yeah! My whole YouTube persona is like a heel wrestler. In case you haven't noticed that.
I mean, it's just kind of funny the way people, they do so terribly. I'm Fozzie. He's Kermit. I could say you're like Gonzo, but he apparently has been transitioning in the new Muppet series, so you don't want to run that mess.
So Q&A. So I do got a question. And I don't know if I missed it. Did you guys at all talk about Masters of the Universe? Did I miss on that conversation about the whole drama surrounding the new show?
You did.
Masturbators of the Universe?
It was either last week or the.
Yeah, he talked about Masturbators of the Universe.
I think it had to be. I think I either came in late or it had to be the week before last week because
he did one for it.
Yeah, we definitely.
I'm no interested in watching it.
So you were disappointed?
I love it.
You liked it? So it's definitely worth watching. It's definitely, you got to watch it for yourself and make your own opinion.
Here's my defense for why I don't want to watch it. I really don't want to wait till 10 episodes until Tila decides to do the right thing. I just don't have time for it.
Carl, you can't. I mean, did you watch the series, Carl, at all? Did you watch it?
To watch it, I would have to pay
Did you watch it?
Netflix.
Did you watch it?
I'm not paying to watch that show.
So you didn't watch it. So then how can you say you want to wait 10 episodes for Tila to do the right thing? If you
did you watch?
Based on your reaction, that is
did you watch
what
spoilers?
I think. No, I was watching Tony's video.
Now, see,
my video said it was good. My video said I liked it. It was really good.
But you also, the way you said it is like, but I came with the impression that Tila is going to do the right thing at the last episode of the season. I just don't have time for maybes.
I don't want to give spoilers because I don't think Gary's watched it.
Well, I did kind of go through some review stuff just to see what it was about and see what people were bitching about. Are you upset with how Kevin Smith essentially lied to people, or at least that's what they're saying?
Kevin Smith didn't lie to nobody. Okay.
I'm not upset about all that stuff. I just don't like drama and cartoons very much. That's all.
See, and that's the thing. I don't really know because I haven't super followed it. I'm just going off of. I've watched a few videos, and I'm going off. Either people are just so upset that it wasn't what they wanted, and they're claiming something. I don't know. But when you watch stuff like that, it does give you an impression. Now that I usually don't make my mind up off reviews, I go and decide for myself. That's why I'm just kind of asking what your opinion was.
I just don't do drama and cartoons, so that's my reason.
Let me tell you.
I do.
Break it down. Okay. Kevin Smith said it was a He-Man show. It was a show about He-Man. And if you watch it, it is a show about He-Man. It is. We got 5 episodes out of a 10-episode season. So the whole season has not even been released yet. It's only half of the season. The first episode has He-Man in it. The plot happens, which causes He-Man to be absent for the next couple episodes. We get flashbacks. Every episode, there's a flashback to Teela and He-Man doing something, having an adventure. And the whole thing is basically He-Man is like this ghost hanging over Eternia because now the disaster happened and there's no He-Man. And they got to figure out how do they proceed without He-Man. Teela is obviously upset when she finds out that Adam was He-Man. No one told her. She kind of lashes out.
Yeah, see, I just don't have time for all that.
There's no time for it. It's very emotional. It's an adult cartoon. It's not simple 2D, people have no emotions. They're flat characters.
Right, it's layered.
Characters. Yeah, it's layered. So basically, I mean, they're just upset because He-Man's not in every episode. Well, it's not a He-Man show. It's not called He-Man in the Masters Universe. It's called Masters Universe.
Right.
He-Man is technically in all the episodes. Adam doesn't die. Kevin Smith said he's not dead. Mattel would not, greenlight a series where I'm going to kill off Adam. They're cash cow.
No, they're never going to pull the Transformers. No way.
And they're trying to sell toys. So
right. It's essentially one long storyline that goes through 10 episodes. So I think that, people are used to the old He-Man where in the half hour, everything's resolved, self-contained one episode.
I'll tell you what. I'll make you a deal. You watch the whole thing and you tell me about it, even if it's just a direct message or something. And, if I like it, I'll put the money into a Netflix subscription and watch it.
Well, you can get a month. Well, what I would suggest is what we usually do is wait till it's done, go and spend $7 for a month and go binge it all in a couple days.
Yeah, but my time is really important to me, equal to precious treasure. So I don't want to watch it and find out it's not something I really want to watch in the first place. So,
I said, it was very good. I am a huge He-Man fan. I grew up watching He-Man. I watched 2000 series He-Man. I got all the toys. I'm a collector. Well, not a collector. I just have the old toys.
And that's why I wanted your opinion on it, because I knew you're a bit older than me. You grew up with that, so. From what I seen, the animation, the style, it looks gorgeous.
Oh, it is. The animation is gorgeous. The voice acting is really good. The story is good. I mean, if you're someone who's just basically like, oh no, woman's headlining the show, or she's
that doesn't bother me.
I don't care about all that stuff.
I watch a bunch of Japanese anime, man. It's like we watched like Escaflowne and
Ranma one half.
My woman watches so much stuff I can't even keep up with it. She's the anime nut, so.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, a lot of the people that are getting upset are either getting upset because that's what their brand is, so they're they can't come out and be like, hey, I liked this show because it's got a good story, because then their audience will turn on them. So they have to be, I hate this thing.
Yeah.
The whole Kevin Smith lied, and maybe he wasn't a fan of He-Man. Who the fuck cares if he was a fan of He-Man as a kid? The story's good. That's all that matters. I don't need everybody who works on the He-Man cartoon to have grown up watching He-Man and been a fucking He-Man fan.
Right.
As long as they don't do to what that they did to She-Ra.
Right. I mean, when you showed me the trailer, the quality came through in the trailer. So
Right.
I was signed up right as soon as I seen that trailer. It looked fantastic.
A lot of the trailer is the first episode too. That's, I think, people have a problem with that.
I just don't really care that. I just don't want to watch. I just don't want to commit that kind of time to something I'm not sure about.
It's only 2.5 hours for all the episodes.
Well, if you do anything, Carl, please watch Primal. That was fantastic.
That does look good.
I don't know how to watch it without paying a subscription. That's the problem.
Primal is
I don't
YouTube.
Want to pay a subscription to watch stuff I'm not sure about. It's just my policy.
$20 wasn't bad. I thought that was pretty reasonable for what we got, and I was thoroughly happy with that $20 was well spent. I enjoyed every minute of that show. It kept me entertained from the beginning to the end, and I did not know. And I'm not a huge, like my girlfriend's son is a huge dinosaur nut. He has he's only 12. He has one of the biggest Jurassic Park dinosaur, all the way from Schleich to all these different, like Safari Unlimited. He has a huge collection of dinosaur stuff. And I was never a big Jurassic Park fan. I was never a big dinosaur fan. And I was like, this looks neat. We got it kind of for him. And she was really on board when she seen it. The cover just spoke to me. Go ahead.
See, the thing is, if I really hate something, guess where it's ending up?
In the trash.
In the trash, and I've literally done that before.
Okay, I want to address this comment here from Vijit. He says, I'm sorry, I don't understand how someone who was supposed to be the next man-at-arms basically snapped because she found out a friend lied to her. I mean, are you an adult woman or an angry teen? Okay. I addressed this in my video. Okay. Masters of the Universe is a continuation from the 80s cartoon. Okay? So you have to understand that all the 80s cartoon episodes happened in this universe. They all exist. And one of the big plot points of the 80s cartoon was that Adam was supposed to be a coward. He was always hiding. He was always running off when the bad guys attacked. Hey, there's Skeletor. We got to go fight him. And then Adam would run off because he was a quote-unquote coward when he was really, running off so he could hide, turn into He-Man, and save the day. But Tila didn't know this. So as far as Tila was aware, Adam was a coward who was lazy, wouldn't listen to her, wouldn't get trained, wouldn't put in any effort. And she thought that she was basically wasting her time having to protect Adam. He-Man was the ultimate hero, her idol. She had strong feelings for him, but he'd always disappear. Now she finds out that these two people were the same person, that the whole time that she thought that Adam was a coward, he was actually a hero who was putting his life on the line every time he went out there. And no one knew that. Even with all the responsibilities of being the Prince of Eternia, he still was out there being He-Man secretly. And he didn't take any credit. He wasn't bragging or boasting or being this person that was trying to be all me. He was basically doing it selflessly. So now that came down on her when she realized that they were the same person. No one told her, and he's dead. And now she's got no outlet for her anger. So she was basically mad at herself and projecting onto other people because she didn't know how to express herself in the moment. And that's the same reason why the King Randor, was upset at Man-at-Arms, because he didn't know that he was He-Man, and Man-at-Arms kept this secret from them, and that's why his son died.
I mean, they should have known. So they're not in the same place. He-Man and Adam are never in the same place at the exact same time. If it were me, I'd definitely be wondering.
Yeah, but it's hard to wonder when you're out in battle fighting.
But they're not
forces.
Always in battle, though.
Yeah, but the He-Man was never around when they weren't in battle. He-Man would only show up.
That's my point. I mean, they're not in battle. I would definitely wonder, could they be the same person?
Vijit got another comment. He was supposed to command the Eternian army. Would you want a general that acts emotional? Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Everyone in this series acts emotional. Man-at-Arms had emotional moments, and he was the general of the army. King Randor, all of them. Even in the 80s series, people were acting emotionally. It wasn't like this is a new phenomenon for the characters. I mean, Tila was emotional in the original series.
But Man-at-Arms was always more stable, though. Less about himself and more about what matters.
Right. I can understand that take, but like what I'm trying to get at is these are supposed to be real people, real, 3D, fully fleshed out characters. I mean, imagine if I died, Carl. If I died right now, you would be emotional. You would lash out at Gary. You would yell at him. And
no, I wouldn't.
How dare you?
No, I wouldn't. Nope, sorry.
He'd give Tommy T the buzz.
What would you do if you found out, if I died and you found out I was secretly Tommy Tellerico? Wouldn't you be upset?
I would laugh about it. I would laugh about it because I appreciate irony.
For the record, I would be He-Man and Tommy would be Prince Adam. So we're clear as to how that would work.
I would laugh my ass off because I appreciate irony. I'm the guy who watches disaster flicks, so.
It would be a great trick, though, because I did interview Tommy, so if I could have figured out a way to interview myself live on stream, that'd be fucking impressive.
Is this going to be a Chris Chan thing where the comic world fuses with the with the real world?
I don't even want to talk about Chris Chan. Oh my god, crazy! Fucking Tucker Carlson had Chris Chan. Who was talking about Chris Chan. Mainstream news is talking about Chris Chan.
It's absolutely insane.
I just, it's just like, Man-at-Arms is also a man of intellect. You got to remember that. Tila is not a person of intellect.
But Man-at-Arms is also an incel.
What the hell is an incel?
Involuntary celibate. He's in love with the sorceress. Yeah, he's in love with the sorceress who can't have a relationship because she's a sorceress. And Tila is his adopted daughter, who's actually the sorceress's daughter. So he's raising another person's child. Fucking Man-at-Arms is a cuck. I said it.
I mean, it just but he's a man of intellect.
He built a robot because he can't have kids. Fucking cuck.
Well, I wish I had more input
he
on
built
this,
the
guys.
robot because he built all kinds of stuff. He even built a robot horse. Give me a break.
The robot horses, the horses are in there too. Fucking Man-at-Arms punches the fucking horse in the face in the first episode. It's fucking badass.
Where is there a good place to actually go and watch all of the old He-Man before you go and sit down and watch this Masters of the Universe?
I don't know.
Because that's something I'm going to need to do. Because I'm not. I wish I was more versed in He-Man, but unfortunately, like I said,
give me a second.
That's before my.
Let me look through my TV for a minute. Give me a minute.
My brother was a He-Man guy.
I happen to have Amazon Prime, so give me a minute.
It could be Vegeta. That could be more like Tila.
Yeah, I mean,
Tila could be a dyke,
but I'm saying people associate, or at least they understand characters a little bit different depending on what you go through your life. So, I mean, I think that's probably a good reason why some people certain characters resonate with them, and why this show did or didn't resonate with them, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, and I have no problem. I have no issue if you don't like the show. If you're like, hey, I don't like it, it's not for me. Whatever. I've never tried to put my opinion, force it on anyone else.
Right, to each his own.
I just think that when you're being dishonest about something or you're pushing a narrative, simply because that's your brand or that's how you make your money on YouTube. I think that's shitty.
Ooh.
I mean, their Reset Era has recently gotten in on this whole Amico drama, and they've kind of noticed that I make Amico videos, and I was reading it. Yes, if you guys are watching, I was reading Reset Era, and I noticed that they were saying how I was associated with Gamergate. And so they were now upset because they had watched some of my videos and I guess agreed with me, and they were really happy about how I was doing the whole coverage on the Amico, but now they're upset because I have quote unquote shitty opinions because I was associated with Gamergate. But here's the thing, even though I was associated with Gamergate and still technically am, it's always been about ethics in games journalism. And I've had no problem pointing out when people on my side have done shitty things. And in fact, it's because of me that people like One Angry Gamer have been shunned by the community because I pointed out all the crappy things he's done. Now, if other people would do this, if they would police their sections, police their own quarters of the internet, we wouldn't have so many of the issues we have today. But when people like Amico fans, they're okay with Bomb Blast going out there and saying, hey, I'm going to get the Serbian mafia to come down and protect the Crayola event. And they're not telling him, hey, that's fucking going too far. You need to chill. That's where a lot of the issues stem from. So what I'm saying is, I am honest. I'm objective. I might not have opinions that you agree with, and that's fine. You have opinions I don't agree with. But let's all just fucking remain civil, people. Because if you don't, have Carl kick your ass.
And I can agree with. I think you've been pretty fair across the board with it. I like to think I'm pretty fair and level-headed with it, and I think Carl's pretty fair and level-headed with it, and we have a good discussion about these things, and that's what makes it fun and interesting.
Yeah, Vijit says, in the end, I don't hate that show. There are moments I like, but I don't love this show either. It's like with new Star Wars, you like them, cool. I hate them, and that's okay. Yeah, exactly. Luke says that the original Masters of the Universe is on Hulu.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I remember a few episodes here and there from my childhood, but it's really foggy. Like I said, born in '86, so you do the math. By the time I was ready to watch stuff, I was more into Power Rangers and stuff like that. So if they were watching reruns, I wasn't looking at that.
They had reruns of that stuff for years and years and years.
Yep. It was always my brother's thing, so he was the He-Man fan.
He was always looking at Tila's thighs.
I'll tell you what, those Tila and Evil Lynn toys, they had some fucking thick ass thighs. It was like thigh, no waist, bust.
I mean, she could probably crush Skeletor's head with her thighs.
They definitely had the little fucking thigh master in Eternia.
I mean, you gotta wonder.
Now how many? Go
on.
I was just gonna really quickly ask, how many episodes are in the original He-Man?
Over 100.
Okay.
By my count, at least.
I'm not aware how many episodes. We can look it up. We have the Google machines nowadays.
That's true. All I'm saying is, like, I'm on my phone, so if I do any research, I wish I had internet right now and a computer. I'd be typing away. But right now, if I back out of this, I'm all kinds of fucked up. And if I go to a different thing, it slows down and whatnot. So I can't do that right at this moment.
Yeah, don't worry, I got you. I'm looking at it right now.
If you're gonna watch He-Man, you have to also watch She-Ra.
She-Ra sucked in the 80s. There's 130 episodes.
But they were part of the same universe and lore.
There is 130 of the original He-Man. I mean, if you want to watch the new Adventures of He-Man.
And that's the 2002.
No, that's the one where he looks all retarded or stupid.
That's Jack Nicholson's Skeletor.
Yeah, there's 65 of those episodes. And then the 2000 series has...
Ew, don't watch that.
The 2000 series is good. It has 39 episodes.
It was left unfinished.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, still good.
You wouldn't buy a car that was unfinished, would you? No, you wouldn't.
I wouldn't buy a car, period.
You wouldn't buy anything unfinished, let's put it that way.
I would buy my girlfriend's bathing suit unfinished.
That's a good answer.
Well, yeah, but, you know. I'm
Luke
talking about
Skywalker
other
says
stuff.
there's 93 episodes of She-Ra.
Well, I'll definitely have to check it out because I seen that trailer and I showed her. She liked it, and it's definitely stuff we'll come across and watch. Maybe probably pick up once it hits a Blu-ray DVD or whatever.
Luke says it's on Hulu with stars, so I guess you got to buy the package.
I mean, they don't really do. I should have forgot. Oh well.
Just right in the middle of the thought, huh, Kyle?
Yeah. Damn, I hate that.
So anything else? Any other interesting things you gentlemen want to talk about?
Yeah, what do you think Tila's going to get married to her girlfriend?
She doesn't have a girlfriend in the series. She's in love with He-Man. Watch the show, then say stuff.
I'm just yanking your chain.
Well, leave it alone. My chain doesn't need to be yanked. Oh, we should probably talk about that Super Mario that sold for $2 million.
Oh, let's not talk about that.
The graded.
The
graded
perfect
Mario?
10 graded horseshit game. No, let's not talk about that.
What was that? A Wada graded?
Yeah, it was water graded.
Every time I think about that, I think of Pawn Stars and some of those people I want to flush down the toilet.
Did you know Pat was on Pawn Stars?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he took his copies of his NWC cards to Rick, but granted that he actually gives you an insight to how Pawn Stars ran and what that was all about. He didn't have any. He was never going to sell those cards to Rick, but that was just one of those things, and that was a great episode. It gives you a little insight on how they did Pawn Stars and what his reasoning was, and I'd have to go back to watch it. It's been a while since I watched Pat's.
Oh man, I just don't. People who buy that kind of stuff for that kind of money, and they're never going to play it. It just.
Well, these are guys with money that they have everything but that, and I can understand that as a collector. Like, you get into this. You played games for a long time, and now you're into the collecting phase. And as a collector, you just kind of have this. And I have OCD big time, and it's just one of those things where you just got to have kind of everything. And at this point, I agree with you. There are games I don't have that I wish I had, like Flintstones and stuff like Samson.
Flintstones
on NES. Those are the big boys. Those are the big expensive good games to get. And I certainly see it, but with stuff like this grading, it's absolutely gotten outrageous.
I'm gonna tell you what I was actually having this kind of conversation show one point. I was mentioning an interest in getting into the retro 16-bit gaming, and I mentioned what I would do is I would get reproductions of the games I wanted, but I would rely on good feedback.
But see, and here's the thing: if you were going to go with a reproduction, I'd just tell you to go with like a Banana Pie or whatever. You know what I mean? Just it's easier to go and get like an EverDrive or something like that. You want to play those games.
But if you get one with everything completed with it, like the instruction manual and everything,
and
you
then
put
that's
that
why
on your shelf.
Right, and that's why I kind of like limited run. I think they're doing, at least if you want a reproduction that's got some quality to it. Like the reproductions I see, which you're finding on eBay and stuff, I think is not high enough quality for me, at least like label wise and stuff like that. If they offer it, which like limited run has been offering some great Nintendo games for reproduction, and what was it, Castlemania games? They've been releasing stuff like Wily Wars for Sega Genesis, and there's been some great games that have come out reproduction wise with some great quality to it.
Yeah. Anyway, I gotta go, folks. I'll talk to you later.
All right, Carl.
All right, Carl. See you later.
See you later.
So I was looking on Twitter while you guys were talking, and apparently Trevor Moore from The Whitest Kid You Know is dead.
Who's that again?
He was on a sketch comedy show called The Whitest Kids You Know.
What was that on? Kind of sounds familiar. I don't know if I've seen that at all.
Here, I'll pull up his.
This is like a Comedy Central show, or
No, it was. I think it was on like Stars or some shit. Yeah, he was only 41 years old. He was a comedian. They were just getting back together too, so kind of weird. I mean, if you've seen them, you've probably seen their skits. They've been sharing stuff around from them for years. They had like really edgy humor.
Okay.
They had one skit called The Grapist, who there was like their idea to pitch like a Kool-Aid Man type thing, but it was a guy dressed with grapes, and he was always yelling he was going to grape you in the mouth.
41? You said 41?
Yep.
I was playing Xbox with a couple of friends.
That guy right there.
Mom called and said Grandma's dying again. I told her that sucks, and to say I said hi. Mom yelled at me and told me that I had to drop by. So walk to the nursing home. We drove in my car. They were sleeping dudes and weed.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen this before.
It was on IFC.
National Film Channel. Granny's room and I went inside. Good to see you, she said. You too. I lied. Then she started talking about the stuff she ate this week. I stuck my friends with her and went to take a leak. Peed all I could pee till I could pee no more. So bored, I opened up one of her cabinet drawers. Oh my God! I shouted as I burst back in. Friends got a prescription of OxyContin. Let's go to the old folks' home. We can get doped up and then all get stoned. Let's go to the old folks' home. I'd have been there more if only I'd known. Let's go to the old folks' home. We can get doped up and then all get stoned. Let's go to the old folks' home. I'd have been here more if only I'd known. Old man Bernie likes to talk about the Korean War, and if he uses all of his Percodan, he just gets more. And Miss Edna doesn't care for the blacks a lot, but she's got glaucoma, so she gets good pot. Gladys here only has that. So the best you're gonna find is Tylenol 3s, but Carl is my man, he's got like AIDS in his brain, and I swear to God the dude can even get cocaine. So we rip a couple lines, put on some records, out kids and talk about the weather. Steve grabs his pants, we all leave the room. We pass out, take naps, some nurses bring food. Day after day as time goes on by, some people don't make it, we get sad and cry, but new people move in and we all make friends with new stories, points of view, and prescription. I guess the point is that the elderly are people too, and you never know how long they're gonna be with you, but they're sweet and they're lovely and they still need friends. Be a good kid and go and visit them. Let's go to the old folks' home. We can get doped up and then all get stoned. Let's go to the old folks' home. I'd have been there more if only I'd known. Let's go to the old folks' home. We can get doped up and then all get stoned. Let's go to the old folks' home. I'd have been here more if only I'd known.
So yeah, IFC. I haven't had cable in quite a while, so
Yeah, this guy was fucking funny as fuck. You got to look him up. Whitest Kids You Know.
yeah, I'll have to definitely sift through some of that content.
And I
Check it out.
will show the very first. We will end the stream with the very first sketch that they did on the show. Let me get it up here. Hold up. Hopefully we don't get canceled for this, but fuck it. I guess we'll see you back next week. I will be here lip smacking, cash stacking, and enjoying it. But you know how we do it on this channel. Love, peace, booty grease. We out this bitch.